I'm just gonna do a test roll really quickly.
Cool.
Haha, I made my new dice.
Oh, those are killer. Hey, yo! It is us, the Wild Beyond. We're back at it. We missed you last week, but we're going to pick up where we left off. I've got somewhat of a basic recap. I'm missing a number of things. And if anything I forgot you guys find important, throw it in there at the end. But let's get into it. It was 8 years later when the Witchlight Carnival returned to Lux, and our group of budding adventurers joined forces to investigate and retrieve their lost things. Making sure to buy a ticket this time, the friends entered the mysterious fairgrounds once again. They soon found that things had changed over the years the carnival had been gone. A number of employees had gone missing, including Burley the Bugbear's brother Hurley, both Selena Leon twins, Durlagrand's cub Star. And to top it off, there was a chaotic Kenku on the loose, causing trouble for the carnival. The feathered troublemaker had a familiar voice which turned out to have been stolen from Candlefoot the Mime. After partaking in a few of the carnival's attractions and chasing after the Kenku, Kale was put to sleep by a puff of magical sleeping dust, and the group lost track of the feathered freak. But in the process, they learned that the Kenku had the ability to morph into different forms and disguise themselves among the crowds. Their investigation led them to the carousel, where they would speak to Diana Cloppington. She, Durlagrand, and Northwind had confirmed something was up with the two misters, but what exactly was unclear. Diana was even cursed in such a way to be unable to speak of certain topics. After an in-depth discussion, the group offered to help paint the names of the carousel horses back on, but it turned out that they would need to figure out the names first. The team put their heads together and discovered the horses were in pairs and named after famous proverbs, and after painting each name back onto each horse, they sprung to life, whispering, thank you, in return for your kindness. Each one of you may ask a single question. What are your inquiries?" And that's where we start again.
Shit.
You guys are at the carousel. The horses await your single inquiries each. Let's, I guess, go around the table. I'm just going to roll a dice to see who we go with first. 3. Third window. Oh, third window. Who? 1, 2, 3. Mosgrit.
I sort of puff up my chest and say, I'm going to ask about my tooth, loudly. And I approach... Does it matter which horse I approach?
It doesn't matter. You've got, I forgot. Fortune and Bold, Pride and Fall, Stone and Moss, Stitch and Nine are the different horses' names.
I approach Moss Stitch, because, we have a little bit of a mossy thing happening.
Of course.
And I whisper, how do we undo the curse on Diana?
How do we? Oh my god, what a question. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Interesting.
I clap.
I whisper because I'm trying to be tough and pretend that it's all about my tooth.
The horse's eyes roll, like, not roll up into their head, but they start thinking hard. Diana was cursed by an individual. A group of individuals. Defeat the individuals and the curse will be broken.
Do you take follow-up questions?
Maybe. What is it? Don't tell the others. What did you say?
Who are the individuals?
Okay, don't tell the others that I gave you two answers. But the Hourglass Coven.
Oh my gosh, Marcy, you're my favorite. If I could give you a treat, I would. Do you take treats?
I would love a treat.
Okay. What do you eat? Cotton candy? I'll bring you some cotton candy.
Yes. Oh wow. Oh, it's
Ikimaki.
like a cloud. It's a cloud of sugar. And I guess that horse just starts running in place, just getting super hyper off of the sugar that you're feeding it. And okay. Great. All right. Shit. I'll roll another dice. Who goes next? 4. That's
What did you say?
Chris.
The hourglass coven, was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Hourglass. Coven. Okay, I'm just writing that down.
It's your question now, though.
Oh, because there's so many Chris's here, I just kind of assumed that it wasn't me.
Yeah. Sorry. Euphoriate.
Okay. I'm gonna huddle with the other guys and kind of just 1 second. I'm gonna be very careful to be like, knowing that like I'm not gonna be like, can we have a second? Because that's just like a thought in my head because I know that would just waste a question. But I'm gonna just 1 second to the horses. Sorry, I'm gonna huddle with the other guys and all right. What do you guys want to ask? What should we?
Do we know what
Should we use our
answer?
last questions on?
Oops, sorry. Do we know what answer we received?
No, you go.
What answer Moskert received?
I guess technically not yet, unless Moskrit wants to share that. Moskrit went up and kind of whispered to Moss.
Yeah, I don't think she was wanting us to know. She said
True.
she was going to ask about her tooth.
I want to know where my grandfather, I want to know where my grandfather is. So that's the question I plan to ask.
Is
there something you're looking
me
for?
being just who I am anyway. Well, I would be very, even just general stuff without going too deep into my thought process. I would actually ask Moskrit what she asked and what answer she got, whether it was a broad answer or a short answer, and that would orientate how I ask my question. If in like without going too far into explaining stuff, but I would whether Moskrit would tell me or not. But yeah, Moskrit, what did you ask and what did they say? Like it depends on how I would ask the question.
As you ask, my face totally falls and slap my head. Forget, I should have asked about you. I'm sorry. And then I lean and I whisper to Forget. I asked about the horsey lady. And then I
give
look over.
I give Moskrit a big hug and I said, no, that's still don't worry about me. But if we can get Valian's grandfather back, that'll still be, what we're mainly here for anyway. It was really nice of you to ask that question, but what answer did they give you? Was it broad? Was it a lot of information, or was it very, very like mysterious?
At this point, I start speaking louder to everybody. But can Diana hear us? I want to make sure Diana doesn't hear us. I don't want.
Okay,
We can move
you
away.
can step aside. Yeah, just kind of turn around, huddle together.
We gotta watch out for the Hourglass Coven. I think they have something to do with what's going on here, and they are responsible for. And I gesture over to the not centaur.
Okay. So, but they did give you
not
a bunch of information.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hourglass Coven. I just want to remember that.
I pretend like I'm writing that down now, but okay, well, it seems like you can ask a question and they can give you a fairly broad answer. So I wonder if you could ask multiple things in the same question, like instead of just where your grandfather is, maybe you could ask where he is and how to get him back. I'm not sure. Is it something we should try with our second question? Maybe a double info sort of thing, or
we could try that. Sounds like a great idea. And I'm glad I have you guys here to help me think of some of these things.
Okay, well,
Do you want to ask the question or should I?
yeah, I think. Oh yeah, I'm happy to pass my turn to you if you want. I think you should go next. I'm happy to ask the question, but I think our second question should be seeing how much info we can get from the same question. So at least we have 2 extra ones afterwards to use if we don't get everything we need. If that's agreeable with everyone.
Oh man, for you, you're so smart. You should have
Yeah.
gone first. Oh man, so smart.
No, you just go with your heart. You've done something very nice. We won't tell Diana unless you want her to know, but you're just a big old softy inside, still caring for everyone.
Friend.
Go for it, Valiant. Go and ask your question. Try and ask
Nice.
the 2 things in the same one.
Sure. So I step up to the horse, and I'm going to go up to Bolt.
Okay.
And I stroke its mane.
Oh,
And I say,
Oh, yeah.
and I say, where's my grandfather and how do I get him back?
Your grandfather is in Motherhorn. You must trade with Endlin Moongrave to receive him back.
Grandfather is in Motherhorn. Trade with who, sorry?
Andolin Moongrave.
How do you spell that?
I'll put it in chat.
Phonetically. Oh, no.
Oh, with an
Thank
E.
you.
No.
Ah, yeah, awesome. That's a nice way to spell that, actually.
All right.
So, I got 2 pieces of information with 2 questions, or a 2-part question. So, it looks like we can get multiple pieces of information if we ask, kind of multi-part questions.
Yeah, tangentially
Cool.
related. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're in a different order. Hang on. First, that isn't chosen. I guess we're back to you, Aforiate.
Sure. I say just one more second to the horsies, you know. So, I bring the group back over. Yeah. So what else should we ask? What's some big things? Do we want to know how to get into the portal, or is there anything else big that we can ask? Like, anyone get any ideas?
I think I know what I want to ask, but I think I'm gonna ask where Ringo Run is.
I thought as much, which is absolutely fine. I kind of want to ask where Moskrit's teeth are, if anyone has no objection to that.
For it? No, you should ask about you.
Ah, it's alright, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the horsies and ask the same thing that Valiant asked. Where are Moskrit's teeth, please, and how do we get them back?
And this horse is like, oh, Mossgrid's teeth! Shoot. Those are in Downfall. Within a big old frog. Into the possession of Bavlorna Blightstraw.
In the possession of what, sorry?
Bavlorna Blightstraw.
Bavlorva.
I'll put it in the chat as well.
Ah, yep. Thank you.
Yeehaw!
Mr.
just my
Horsey, I
thing.
appreciate.
I say that.
I don't want to be a nitpicker, Mr. Horsey, but you didn't really tell me how to get them back.
Oh, you love picking nicks, don't you? All right. Well,
I do.
I'll tell you what. How to get them back is all. That's I mean, I'm sure she'd cut you a deal, or you could just steal them from her. You just gotta find that big old toad.
Oh, it's a toad.
It's a big old frog.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so
Tigers perk
down
up
his
at
gullet.
stealing.
by any means, basically. Thank you,
Yeah, there's
Horsey.
probably a lot of different ways you could get that stuff. Yeehaw!
Thank you, Mr. Horsey. Or
Oh,
Mrs.
yeah.
Horsey, I shouldn't.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for writing my name back on there. I was almost
No
forgetting who
worries.
I was. All right, and then we're back around to Kale. What is Kale's question?
I want to walk over to Stone, totally hoping he's like a hippie guy.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Stone?
Yo, what's up, dude? Hey, man.
Do you know where Ringarun was, and if I have a way of like contacting him to see if he's okay?
Ringle Run?
Yeah, the old wizard guy.
Oh, yeah, with the like tentacle beard. That guy's crazy.
Yeah, with the Phoenix book. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, we ran into him like what, a couple of years ago. Shoot, man. Yeah, he came through here. I think he was like, he was on his way. He was trying to stop the League of Malevolence, but like, look, I'm telling you too much, my dude. Okay, Ringle Run. Hang on, let me think. And he puts his hooves to his temples. Oh, he's in the Palace of Heart's Desire, dude. Yeah, he's in the Palace of Heart. What else did you ask me? I totally forgot.
Do I have a way of contacting him just to see if he's okay? Like, do you know a way I could reach him?
Dude, I don't know if anything's gonna work. He's like, look, I'm like magical, and I'm like reaching out, and I can see stuff, but like, he's not active. He's like, he's
You saying he's dead?
No, he's alive, but like in stasis or something. He's just not moving. Did he like ice a lot, or like maybe he's froze?
I don't know. I don't think I recall him ever using an ice block spell, but I don't know. Ringwin had his ways for sure.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool from my mind's eye. Well, shoot.
Well, thank you, Stone. I appreciate it.
Oh, dude, we should hang out later. What are you doing? Oh no, I got this pole through my back. I can't go anywhere. Sorry, my dude.
All right. Well, I'll help you out, and I'll prestidigitation. Like I'm gonna give him something, and then I'll just like make like swirls and like trippy hypnotic like figures appear in front of his eyes, so that's what he sees, and start walking away as it's like going off.
Whoa, is this a magic guy? Oh, okay, hang on. I gotta cross my eyes first. He starts muttering to himself as you wander off. Oh, I should switch over to this. Well, again, thank you. I don't know why I could never recall their names, but seems like you guys chatted them up quite a bit. They haven't been as chatty lately. Is there anything? Yes?
I forgot. We didn't get to ask a question about Euphoria, and I'm worried about Euphoria. I know that you have a curse on you. If we try and find out some answers about your curse, can we ask another question for Euphoria? Please?
I mean, I guess it's not up to me. It's up to the horses, but maybe I can try to answer your question.
Oh, yeah. Euphoria. Can I ask your question?
Yes.
I want to help you. Do you want to ask a question about what you're missing?
Oh, I'm sure we'll find it along the way on everyone else's journeys. But thank you though. I'm not worried. She probably no disrespect to you, Diana. She probably wouldn't know about the pig girl or anything. So.
Oh, her eyes widen at the mention of Pig Girl.
Oh really?
And yeah, just sap just starts dripping from her mouth.
I clean it up again like the last couple of
You
times,
just dab it, yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you.
and then it makes me think. Even if she does know something, she probably can't say anything either. So,
It's
actually, the one oh sorry, you go.
well, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry. I mean, it's. If the pig girl is related to your problems, I think we have the same enemy.
Oh, she took your stuff too.
Uh,
The biggest thing you could help us out with is if you know, like thumbs up or thumbs down to avoid the stuff happening to you. Do you know the password to get to the other side of wherever the pig girl goes? Or
mm,
do you know someone that might know the password? Just thumbs up or thumbs down. We don't want the stuff to happen again.
mm, I mean, I think the Misters would be the most knowledgeable about that. They run this whole thing. They buy the mirrors.
Can I ask a question to you,
Sure.
Diana? Oh, so, my understanding is that I lost my grandfather and Moskrit lost her teeth because we snuck into the carnival without tickets.
Oh no, that's not a. Okay, sorry. I'll wait for you to finish.
Well, I'm just wondering if that's true, then wouldn't you have. How did you get cursed? You didn't sneak into the carnival.
Oh, that is correct. Yeah, my curse comes from previously. I had made a bad deal with a bad person somewhere in Prismere, and then I fled there, and the Misters have given me refuge here.
So you've been cursed like this forever.
For a while, yeah.
Or
I mean,
since
not
you've been at the
forever.
carnival.
I had lost track of my horse during battle, and I had made a deal to, and I guess just shit starts happening. Moss starts growing on her tongue. I'm not good.
Zap, zap,
Okay,
zap.
please stop. Please stop. You don't have to hurt yourself for this. You've answered your question. Thank you.
Wait, I had
And then
all.
I would like to turn to Euphoria as well and just say, we're not more important to you than you. You know, you have something you need, something you're looking for, and I don't want you to feel like you have to help us more than yourself.
Don't worry, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really feel much, so it's all good.
Okay.
No, but I appreciate you guys. I can obviously see you're trying, but look, like this is stuff I can at least live without. I mean, Ringle Run and well, Kale realistically didn't really have much, but Ringle Run's missing, so and you've got your grandfather and Moskrit has their teeth, so yeah, I'm sweet either way. But
Okay.
with this Diana thing, do we want to? I just pull hush you guys away as I'm talking. Do we want to let her know that we know who's cursed her and ask her maybe to write down on a piece of paper where they are?
Yeah, I also want to know, because she just said, sounds like you have the same enemies as the pig girl, if the pig girl's a part of
Yeah.
the coven. Yeah,
That's
you want to ask those things for you?
well, Kale. Do you want to give her another piece of your parchment, and then we can ask her the question so she can answer on the paper?
I can. I'll take out my tome and tear out a piece and hand it over.
Go ahead, Moskrit.
No, I already forgot the question. You go for it.
Diana, obviously write this down because we don't want, stuff. We know that it was the Hourglass Coven that was the people that cursed you. Do you know where they are so we can obviously help you? And do you know if the pig girl is involved with them?
She nods her head, and you're handing her the paper to write on?
Yep.
And on the paper, she pauses for a second and is thinking what to draw or write. And she draws a picture of like a triangular it's not a cylinder if it's triangular.
Prism.
Uh, yeah, I was trying to avoid the word though, but yeah, she draws a picture
Oh,
of
I'm
that.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You're supposed to figure it out. With
I
one
teach
line
fifth grade
coming
math.
into it and like 7 lines coming through it. Would you call it a triangular cylinder? I guess you would because you immediately got it. And then next to it, she draws a human hearing body part.
And yeah,
Prismia.
Prismia. That's really smart, Moskrit. You're amazing.
Thanks. I love Pictionary.
Does anyone remember what Prismia is? Just like in-game memory?
I've heard it before. I just can't remember from what.
I think she had mentioned
The
it.
horses mentioned it.
Yeah.
One of the horses mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Um,
I wrote down for everyone though. Was that Kale's thing then?
no.
I know
Wasn't it?
Diana mentioned
it
it.
was the Hourglass Coven cursed Diana Cloppington.
Right.
No, she did mention Prismere. No, she did because she said she was on her horse. She lost her horse in Prismere and then made a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she doesn't have to write for this, but I'm gonna ask her, thumbs up or thumbs down. Is Prismia on our plane of existence?
She shakes her head.
No.
Okay, is Prismia in the same plane that where Pig Girl goes to?
Mm-hmm. Nods
Okay.
yes.
So, okay, that's where everyone's stuff is in Prismia. So Prismia is the plane on the other side. Wait, so Kale, do you know? Does that ring any bells to Kale if Prismia is part of the Feywild or if it's a different sort of? Actually, I'm just going to ask Diana straight up: thumbs up or thumbs down? Is Prismia part of the Feywild?
Oh yes, it's one of the domains.
Okay. So at least we've got confirmation on the other side. It's the Fey and not some other fucked up dimension thing. Cool.
Did I unpause this?
Can you give us any other useful information about Prismia? Because we're obviously going to try and go there. So anything that you can sort of, do you have any friends back there that you might be able to hook us up with, or yeah, we're pretty much blank except for our smart wizard here. We don't really know what's happening over there.
Look, my curse prevents me from speaking too much about the goings on in Prismere. Although I'd say if you ever make it there, look for Clapperclaw.
Clapperclaw.
He's a scarecrow with big old lobster claws. and like a steer's skull as a head.
Okay, it just says look for Clapperclaw. What did you say? Sorry, it's a scarecrow. I was typing. I can't.
Scarecrow body, lobster
Scarecrow body.
claws, lobster claw hands, and a steer skull head.
Steer skull head. Okay, thank you very much. Do we just mention your name to them, or do we have to?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty nice. But you can mention me. They'll remember. A friend of mine
Cool.
is a friend of theirs.
Well, thank you very much. We'll do our best to try and help you out along the way. Thank you for all your information.
I
That's
appreciate
pretty
it.
much.
I've not felt like anything that's happened in that place it was ever going to be resolved, and you might be our best chance if you're going there. Thank you is what I'm saying.
Thank you too. Well, unless anyone has other stuff to ask, I'm gonna go to that Noam poetry game that I've been waiting to play for a little bit before it gets too late.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, what about-
just come find us if you find of anything. Just come find us around if you think of anything else useful or you need to tell us anything.
Oh, sure. I'll find you.
I'd like to talk to the group as we're going and as we're walking away, and just ask: are we assuming that every single one of these challenges that we are going, or all these people who are cursed here, are we assuming that we're going to solve all these problems in the Feywild, or do you think would we waste our time trying to find Star here?
Who's Star again?
The
Um,
cat.
That's right. That's right.
What were you saying, Christabel?
Jerligrin's daughter. Sorry.
Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah, said Darlagod's cut.
Oh, gotcha.
So when you were asking about if we're going to waste time finding Star here, what did you mean by that?
Like, would we waste our time spending the rest of this night wandering this carnival looking for stars for Durligrin's child? Like, can we assume that all of these things will be solved if we go to, like, we're not going to solve any of these tonight?
I mean, Darlagod's cub went missing years ago, so I feel like, yeah, I think that the Prismere might be a good place to start.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just try to approach it one step at a time, and maybe we find clues along the way for others also.
We do have the thief, or the, I don't know, mischief maker running around here.
Kenku.
Yeah. And I would like to find him. I don't know how, though.
I mean, there's also other people we could still talk to before we try to find the misters. There's still,
Sure.
Is it Hurley? Or Gurley that's missing? I'm sorry.
Hurley is missing.
Hurley is missing, so there's still Gurley, who wears a pumpkin in respect of Gurley, which you can see why it's confusing.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would have knowledge they might have, or if they're worth talking to, but reminding folks if we want to.
What we could do, like, because you've raised a valid question, that maybe if we, like, it doesn't seem too dangerous here since we have a ticket. Maybe we could split up, and as long as Kale and myself are split up, whenever we need to sort of signal to each other that, we need the other group to come over, we could always just prestidigitation some, flashes in the sky or something that would be the signal. I mean, I'm not sure if you...
Yeah, that could work. And I'll look up to the sky. Do we see, like, you mentioned there were fireworks before? Are there any colors we can see that are uncommon that we could pretty sure confident would be like one of our signals?
Sorry, you cut out. What did you say again? About the fireworks?
Is there like a color
I know
that's been going off that isn't like being utilized?
A color in the fireworks?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe instead of color, we could just do like 3 flashes of green. Like if we see 3 flashes of green directly after each other, we know it's each other.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Or
I see.
or maybe you could choose a color palette like green, blue, red, because you can cast it quite quickly. So, but you are right. We should make our thing distinguishable from each other for sure. But I don't think there's not like fireworks happening every second of the night, is there?
No, but I mean, he's right in that, like, how would you know it's from you guys compared to the place? So, yeah, exactly. I mean, we can say that they're not using, I don't know, white, or, I don't know, they probably want to use all the different colors.
Yeah, true. There's never really white fireworks, is there?
I mean, I guess they're all kind of white. I don't know.
I've definitely seen white fireworks. I think the idea that you had of like doing a sequence is better, because the fireworks they're not going to be able to be aimed at a very specific location, whereas you can be very specific about your placement. So.
And how far? I'm not at my computer. It is. Oh, it's only 10 feet. Okay.
What is?
Prestidigitation.
Well, I think I can technically make mine longer because I have Mage Hand. I think my Mage Hand can cast it.
Can it?
Oh,
I think so.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Does that mean mine can cast it?
At the very least, you could create a familiar that could do it.
Oh yeah, my familiar can do it. Never mind. I got it backwards. My bad. Yeah, familiar can cast it.
Muskrat is so smart. I could just fly in the air and cast it.
I was about to say, yeah, neither of you could fly.
I can't fly.
Okay, maybe I'll go with you, and then I can fly with. I'm sorry. What's your familiar's name?
My familiar's name is Ron.
Oh yeah,
that's right. And then I could fly Ron into the air to cast it if we need. So maybe the two of us can go together.
I like it. We've got a plan.
Cool.
And as you guys are walking through the carnival, there's like a man who runs up to another man and is like, "Dad, I got this ticket," and the other man is like. That's very funny. Where's my son? No, Dad, it's me. You've got a beard, sir. No, you gotta believe me. And that's just happening on the side.
Wait, can we look at this couple and have more details? Like, is it an actual man saying "dad," or?
It is. He's the man who's saying sorry. Yeah, there's a bearded guy. We'll say a guy and a man. There's a bearded guy who's saying, "Dad, look, I got this thing." And then the man is just like flabbergasted. It's like, "Why are you playing this joke on me?" My son is 10 years old and you're clearly in your late 20s.
He's been cursed.
No, Dad, I
run over to him immediately.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I want to follow.
Why are all these men coming up to me? Where's my son?
Sir, I think this might be your son. I think your son has been cursed. And I turned to the kid and just, what happened? How did you get to be like this?
I put a coin in the machine, and I wanted this card. I wish to be like a little bit bigger. Son? Oh my god,
Okay,
you've got the
so-
same scar.
Is that Tom Hanks?
It's me, Tom Hanks. How did you know my name?
Big. Freaking loved Big back in the day. Real weird movie to watch now.
True.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As a kid, I loved it. As an adult, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Does his voice sound familiar?
No, not necessarily.
Let's walk him back over to the machine, sir. Sir, can you follow us? We're gonna take your son. We're gonna go back to that machine. We're gonna have him make a wish again, and see if that kind of fixes this.
Did I grow old too? Oh no. Okay. Well, they walk you over towards the Hall of Illusions, where the mannequin stand that used to have a mannequin of Tasha in it is now replaced with a Zoltar machine, fortune-telling machine. Here, I'll drag you guys there since it's pretty far.
Outside of game, I'm just gonna say, after this, nothing stops us from Euphoria doing the dwarf poetry, because we keep getting sidetracked. Nothing gets in our way after this.
I'm just gonna keep throwing things in front of all of your goals.
Nope.
And then you're just, nope,
We
we'll do
ignore
that now.
everything.
It's just like a carnival. There's always, hey, go check this out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, there's always 30-year-old.
that's me buying board games.
And as you're walking along, a giant singing flowers burst from the ground and just start singing to you guys. And for a while, they're just sprouting in front of you and wilting behind you.
Very cool. Keep walking, head down. Just
Okay.
racing to this.
Is this
No
singing
more
flower
distractions,
only?
stop! What?
Is this only singing to us?
Yeah, at the moment.
I think these are just awesome things that are happening at this carnival.
Yeah, they're just singing, it's a big world, didn't you know? It's a big world,
It's a
didn't you
big
know?
world. I know that one.
Could this be? I just say to the group quickly because we're standing at front of the mannequin now.
Mm.
Do you think this could be like one of those, tales or whatever, where it's like subconsciously trying to tell us something in the middle of like a joyful song, or I don't know, like
Well,
I can't. Sorry, you.
Well, for that, we would have to listen to the entire song. And I'll
Yes.
pull out a notepad and be like, super eager.
No.
Yeah, boss.
I'm sorry, I had to.
That's the worst thing about being a DM.
I know. Well, I was like the thing that I rolled on just says that they're singing, and I made up the song, and of course you're like, oh yeah, let's have some more of that song, please.
Yeah.
And of course I decided to change the word slightly, so now I have to rewrite an entire.
I'm kidding. I was giving you a hard time.
You know what?
Well-
For next week, I'm gonna write the whole thing and give it to you.
There we go.
But I don't know what they're singing right now.
All right, so I'll have the notes on here for when we have the songs for next week. Then
I will say at the end of the song, one of the flowers pops out of the ground and just starts like break dancing. But yeah, that's it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, break dancing flower.
I think it's just me being suspicious of everything in this carnival at the moment, so I just
Yeah.
apologize to the group. Okay,
Okay, so yeah, but despite all of that, you guys have made it to the Zoltar machine outside of the Hall of Illusions. You can see Candlefoot the Mime outside the front door of the Hall of Illusions.
when I see Candlefoot, I'll look to the group. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I'll look to the group. Hey, and I'll like try to say this like real like quietly. That's the guy the Kenku guy sounded like.
Yeah, I think we should talk to him. Nope. No, we can't. We gotta go do this poetry thing. Nope.
no, it's
Before it's getting this poetry in.
Okay,
I want to hear it.
Hang on, I want to check something real quick then before we potentially walk away.
Have we dealt with this kid? Did I miss it?
no. We're gonna put the coin in the machine.
Oh.
I think
So
It's okay. It's okay. We can always split up after this. Let's see if we can help these guys before we go on. I'm assuming we've got a lot of the night left anyway. We can always do a bunch of stuff. I mean, I can't really. Can I tell what time it is of the night or whatever? Or because obviously I can't see that lighter or whatever. But
so let's just double check here. So I think that happens at. All right. Well, according to the time meter, it's about 7. Yeah, it's probably.
and the monarch midnight.
What?
Is the monarch crowned at midnight?
Yes, correct. And the big top extravaganza happens at 8 o'clock.
Okay, never mind. What I'll do is I'll retract what I said. I thought I could do something, but I can't do what I thought I could. So I take back what I was gonna do.
Okay.
So we can do the dwarven poetry.
Okay.
Does anyone remember or know what? Because Tasha was a pretty influential person in this world. Do we know what this Zoltar person is or what they represent?
Are you asking
Like
me
just
for the group?
like do our characters know who Zoltar is or?
No. I mean, I guess maybe you just think that Zoltar is just a fake magician.
Okay.
What coin? I just asked the man-child. What type of coin did you put in the machine before?
I put a copper.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a copper coin. I'm just outside having a smoke, but I'll deduct it from my sheet later. So I give him a copper coin and I say, "Here."
Good. Oh.
Oh, nice.
Oh. So that's 6, 9. Okay, and you give it to the kid. Oh, thank you. And he just puts it in his pocket. Son, what do you say? I can't believe you're a grown-up now. You gotta say thank you. Oh, thank you, sir. What's this for? Why is my face itchy?
I tell him to put it in the machine and ask for him to be. Oh, this is probably like one of those wish things. What should we tell him to tell Zoltar that will reverse him back without fucking him up more?
Do you know how old you were when you arrived here? I'll ask the kid, or who was the kid?
I was 10.
Okay.
10 years young.
Do you know how many days, months, perhaps, so we can get pretty close?
Dad, you were. Look, hang on. It's your birthday. God, your mother remembers your birthday better than I do. Okay. Look, it's probably like five. I think it was about 5 months ago. It was, yeah, about 5 months ago was your birthday.
All right. If I were you, I would wish to be 10 years old, 5 months. That'll be close enough, I think.
Oh, you want me to be small again? Yeah, you're damn right. I'm not living with the. I mean, either you're paying rent from now on, or you're going back to be a 10-year-old, buddy. Dad, fine. And sure, yeah, he puts the copper coin that Euphoria gave him into the machine. I wish that I was 10 years and 5 months older. And he grows into an old man. God dang it!
Oh.
Son, you're gonna fall apart. You don't understand yet. You don't have the life experience to know that this is a bad idea. I do what I want. No, I'm the dad.
Okay, I have a idea. Is there any? I mean, surely there's some. Okay, I asked the man-child, "What's your favorite food in this whole entire place?"
Spaghetti and fish.
Spaghetti and fish.
Fish balls.
I hate children.
Is there Is there any?
Especially 10-year-olds.
What about
Oh yeah,
what
you
about
already
cotton
stated that,
candy?
and I'm like, I'm double downing on this. All right, sorry. Go ahead before you.
What about some cotton candy? Or I list off another bunch of random candies that this place would have, and see if he responds to anything excitedly.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff is good. That stuff's yummy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about I buy you a bunch of cotton candy and a bunch of other candies if you wish what we tell you to wish this time.
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. Um.
A 10. Yeah, I'd think about it, I guess.
I go up and I growl in this like 40-year-old man's face, menacingly, like with my rock stick hammer into my fist.
Okay.
Listen to my friend. You want to listen to my friend.
Okay. Give me an intimidation.
So things are so tiny. I'm like not.
Oh, sorry. There are settings where you can change the percentage of that. Or if it's easier, you can go to the character sheet.
There we go. Intimidation.
Intimidation.
There we go.
Oh, 21. Oh, I want to be old. I want to be grown up. Fine. I'll be young again. I guess I'll fit in my bed that way. All right. Give me money.
Okay, so I give him another copper, and then
Okay.
I assume with Kale here being the smarty pants, we do some quick maths on how, deduct the 10 years, 5 months, and then it'd probably be another 10 years, 5 months, like double that, right? I think, quick maths.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how far older he decided to be in the first place. So I think it'd just be a matter of saying,
Just go
like,
back to.
I want to be 10 years and 5 months old, period.
Okay.
Which,
Yes,
yeah, you guys,
reaffirm to him.
yeah, you guys figure out the specific wording, like it's a wish to a genie. I guess it technically is. Yeah, you tell it to him, and he's like, fine. Zoltar, I want to be 10 years old and 5 months so I can fit in my bed. And yeah, you see his beard just like wither and fall off of his face. His long hair sucks back into his skull. And his wrinkles go away. He's got smooth skin again.
Yay!
Dad, I'm Wegler. Thanks, guys.
I'll give him another 2 copper to go and buy the candy and stuff that he wants to, as my promise.
You give it to him, and his dad grabs it from him, like,
I was gonna say give it to the dad. Actually,
I will be in charge of that. We're not having him put another one of those in this machine. Frickin', who even puts this machine here? All right, thank you guys. That was gonna be a problem with the missus when I get home. All right, let's go. And those two walk away.
I've deducted all that from my character sheet.
Oh,
Hey,
I was deducting it for you. So hang on.
Oh shit!
I'll fix it. It's fine.
Hey,
Did
well,
you
I
change
asked...
your silver amount?
No.
Okay, just the
No, I
copper.
haven't.
Okay, cool. You should be at 5, I think. Okay, cool.
I asked the guys and girl, obviously. Do we want to see if we can wish for anything since we're here? I mean, this could be dangerous, but it seems like it's a pretty instant sort of deal.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
We could ask something as simple as, I wish for the password. I mean, I'm making sure I'm stepping back before I even use the word I wish. I mean, I guess it doesn't work without the coin, but we could ask something as simple as, I wish for the password to the mirrors being written on this piece of paper, and you could hold out a piece of paper in your hands.
Ooh.
What do you guys think?
It's an interesting idea. I like that.
I'm down. Who
Yeah.
should ask?
Should we just do a random thing, like a draw some sticks?
I can do it.
Thanks,
Are you sure? Are
Yeah,
you sure?
I'll do it. So I take the coin, or I take a coin. I've got coins. I'm a big boy. I have my own money.
Wait, you need some parchment first. Need some parchment. Kale.
My
Okay.
book.
Those are right. Them's are writing pages.
There you go.
Oh, poor composition notebook.
We'll get you another book. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so what's happening here?
I'm asking for the password to get into the mirror.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well, I guess you put a coin into the machine. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna ask it to write the. So I step up to it, I put the coin in, I say, "What is the password to enter the mirrors to Prismere? Please put it on this sheet of paper."
Okay. Well, I guess you ask that. The machine clicks into life. The little nutcracker mouth is just moving mechanically, and nothing happens.
I think this is a machine just for aging and de-aging you.
Does it have any instructions on it? I'll start looking around to see if I like instructions or anything.
No, there's not really instructions on it. It's just like the weird figure inside and the coin slot on it.
I've got an idea. I'll go up, and I'll take a copper piece and I'll put it into the machine.
Mm-hmm.
It starts doing its thing. I wish my left foot hair was blonde.
Okay. I'm trying to make up the logic for this as I go. Sure, your hair turns blonde. Just a couple of your toe hairs. You're probably wearing shoes. So I don't know if you know that that's happened right away.
They're sandals, so it would definitely be seen.
Okay, great. So great, yeah. You've paid for a bleaching of your toe hairs.
So this could be either a metamorphosis thing completely, or it could just be something that only affects the individual. We could do another test. I have also an idea from Kale's, if I'm allowed. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna just put in another copper piece. Are you deducting this, or do you want me to do it?
Now that you're back, you can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna put in a copper piece, and then I'm gonna bring Kale up with me. I'm gonna wish for Kale's hair on his left foot to be changed back to, what was it again, Kale? What was your
Brown.
blonde?
Purple,
Okay.
purple.
I'm gonna
Do purple, please.
I'm gonna yeah, and as like I'm trying to think of, like, look at his thing and Moskrit's yelling purple, I'm just gonna instinctively say purple because Moskrit's, my best friend.
Oh gosh. Okay. Oh man. I want it to be purple, but it doesn't add up to the logic that I'm building. So, unfortunately, no. Your wish about his foot does not change it from being blonde.
Okay, maybe it's too far.
Make you cooler, Kale. That's a shame.
I'm putting another copper piece in and asking for his hair. Yeah, we're gonna fuck with this, right? I'm gonna do the same wish, but ask for his hair to be brown.
Okay. Again, another copper coin goes down the slot, and no results.
Okay, so it seems to be only for the individual. Okay, I'm gonna put one last copper piece in.
Okay.
I need to think very carefully, quickly. Well, I'd think before I put it in, but I've deducted it from my sheet. I'm going to wish for the password to the Hall of Mirrors, Hall of Illusion mirrors, to be tattooed on my left thigh.
Okay. Let me think about that. No, yeah, that doesn't work either. I'm trying not to just deny things. I'm like figuring out how it makes sense. But no, yeah, that doesn't work either.
I look at the guys. Well, I look at my thigh and realize nothing's happened. And I say to the guys, maybe we could try one more time. We know the hair change happens, right? Like you can target a specific part of your own body and at least change the color of your hair. So maybe it might. Has anyone got a bunch of chest hair going on? Because we could maybe ask for the password.
I'm a halfling. I am super hairy. I got plenty of hair to spare.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay.
The only
rainbow chest.
Rainbow chest. Yeah.
Kale, the only other thing we could try, the tattoo doesn't work, but maybe we could ask for the password to be color changed. You know what I mean? Like blonde hair. To be...
I see what you're putting down. I'll run up, put a copper piece in it, shoot it in. I wish the letters of the password to the mirror appeared in my chest hair as bright pink, and all the other hair around it be blue, so it's very easily distinguishable.
Wait, Kale, we know that the colors don't work. That's not natural.
No,
Okay,
you don't
as
know
he said-
that.
Well, we know it because the hair didn't turn purple on the leg, but it turned back to...
Right, but that I thought you had already stated, like, because that was because you asked for it. On them.
Yeah, I'm asking for it on myself.
Yeah.
Yep, true.
Okay, well, look. Oh, man. Alright, great.
Kale, you're so cool.
It's okay, well, I think technically this machine doesn't know what the thing is.
Yeah, I was
But
thinking.
I'll meet
I was playing
you
along.
halfway, and I'll just say that, like, because I want your chest hair to be all different colors. So it happens, and you start to see fading colors in your chest that says hither, thither, comma, and then it gets cut off on the side. So, like, the full phrase isn't on there.
I'll
Ooh.
kind of like open my tunic up a little bit. Oh, someone's here, and I'll like show up, and like me like not even thinking because I'm like used to it. Yeah, I'll also see my tattoo that's on my chest underneath my hair that has all the eyes and everything on it.
Wait, do I know about this? You have a tattoo and stuff?
Yeah, you have a tattoo. I told you about it.
Okay, I love it.
This is Session Zero stuff.
I know, sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
Do you have rad tattoos under that?
It's they're kind of religious.
Can I ask for what you said again? Hither, thither? What was it?
Hither, thither. Actually, I'll copy it in the chat. This much is on the chest.
Thank you.
Do you not want to talk about your chest, Kale?
So I'm not sure if y'all have been around, other wizards and stuff, but most wizards don't have the ability to heal, right? That's not a typical study. I was kind of born with a natural way of casting healing spells. Kind of the reason I was abandoned to Ringo Run.
Were you born with those tattoos too?
No. These tattoos, I got as a, I don't know, an ode to perhaps Saloon, I guess.
I've had this thought in the back of my head since we've been at the statue, but I don't think it's going to work in any way because of a curse. But I turn to Moskrit and I say, "Hey, would you like to at least try? Like, I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to give you a cup of peace if you'd like. And do you want to see if you can wish for your teeth back here?"
I want my. There's kind of a reason I want my actual teeth, like the ones that were taken, but I'll totally use this coin. And I take it and run up to the mannequin. I asked for a
Okay.
Go for it.
diamond. What are they called? I want a diamond grill. I want diamond flappers. I want denture diamond teeth. Cool teeth.
So there's still a big hole in the middle, but the other teeth are all covered with diamonds. Is that what you're imagining?
No, I imagine like a diamond like flapper. Like a
Oh, just to cover
big
up
teeth.
everything.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Sure. You know what? That happens. All of a sudden, well, okay. They're not real diamonds. They're what is that called? Cubits zirconium. But yeah, you have a grill of sparkling diamond-like teeth now in your mouth, covering up the hole where your two front teeth were.
Run back and give a forehead. Big hug. Swing him around. Thank you.
No worries. You know, just metagaming here, but I'm definitely not going to try because I want to be the asshole. I wonder if you could actually wish for like really big muscles and that increases your strength score or something, or like my wings are like 2 times as big so I can lift stuff or fly for longer.
Oh my gosh. So as you're standing there, I mean, and feel free to hang out here as long as you want, but there's a big old giant snail just like zooms past it way faster than you'd imagine, just like spitting up dirt behind it. Just zips past. Just a fun detail. No need to follow it. You guys want to go, what was it, gnome poetry that you wanted to do?
Oh. Yeah, well, I think we're gonna check out the poetry for sure.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
fine with it. I'm done with it if y'all are. We can go do the poetry.
We could always just split up. We've got our signals in place.
True.
I mean, if I think it was
I
going to be
want to see the
Moskrit.
poetry.
Yeah, well, I
So-
think
Yeah.
I think you were going to come with me, Valiant, if
Oh,
that was
okay.
the plan to split up. Because Moskrit goes with Kale, so they can bring the familiar up in the air and cast from there, and you come with me, so I can, we've always got a way to kind of signal each other.
Have we decided what are we just splitting up to sort of like roam the carnival, or are we like trying to talk to folks? I just don't want to like both
Yeah,
bother Gurley if we're both talking.
Mm.
Kind
Yeah,
of
you don't have
both.
to split up, but yeah.
We could, I don't know, like there
Well, what do
seems
you
to be
want to
a
do,
lot of people.
Moskrit?
I'm okay with splitting up. I just want to make sure that we I don't want to talk to the same people Valiant and Floria
Right.
talk to. That's all.
But
Have a
this.
plan, yeah.
We'll try to stick to the left side, and y'all try to stick to the right side, because I think the poetry was near the dragonfly rides, right?
Makes sense.
So y'all try to stay on that side, we'll stay on this side, and then if we need to meet up, we're done. Let's meet by the big top.
That's very
Okay.
cool.
Big top, yeah, just outside the door or something.
I get to talk to Candlewick or whatever his name is.
And a foot.
Yeah, I kind of want to just keep an eye on him right now, so maybe we can stay close in case he does something weird. And if I see something weird, we'll flare you up.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
only thing
don't-
weird you see is people entering the Hall of Illusions, and he's like just doing sign language and miming to them, not speaking at all.
Oh,
Ah,
he
man,
Maybe-
I want to investigate that.
Maybe before we go, because we know that he's got his voice stolen, and we've already got Deluragron and Diana. kind of on our side. Maybe as a group, just before we leave, we talk to him and then we can split up. See if we can get him on our side as well, like another union member sort of deal.
Sure. Fine with meeting them.
Yeah, let's. I think we're gonna need some more paper though, because I don't think you can talk to us otherwise unless we ask yes or no questions.
I'm really good at charades. I'm really good at charades.
Oh, there you go.
My
Let's
toe.
play, let's play, let's play.
So what's going on? Moskrit and Kale are headed over towards Candlefoot and Valley.
We all are.
before you.
I think we're all gonna head over to Candlefoot first, and then we're gonna go off.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Go ahead. Approach. He's just at the front door in his typical monochromatic outfit, white skin. He just lets someone in, punches their ticket, and sits back kind of bummed. I guess he kind of sits his butt down on the edge of the little boardwalk and kind of waggles his feet, looking down at the ground.
I'll approach him, and with my prestidigitation, I'm going to make a small illusionary image of a kinku. And does this mean anything to you as we approach?
Ooh. I don't know if you're watching me. I'm miming what he's doing to you. He points at your thing, looks at it, looks back at you, like grabs his throat, does a grabbing motion, and then like a shrug.
Okay, so he grabbed him by the jugular. We get it.
I think he's telling us his throat was taken.
Okay, so we encountered. So I'm like holding this up. I'm like, we encountered him, and he sounded like you from our last visits.
Punches his fists or his hands.
What did he look like when they approached you? Or when you lost your voice? What did they look like?
Hoarding it out in case it looks like this, yeah.
Yeah, it just points at the Kenku form.
So I wonder if this person has to revert back to their Kenku form. Because if they're casting a spell, it's got a limited time, right? Right, Kale?
Maybe. It depends. I've studied some beasts that can be informed for, really long periods of time.
Are they Kenku?
Well, we don't even know if Kinku is his true form, right? It could be just another image. That's my initial thoughts, anyways.
Well, why would he go back to the Kenku form then? Why would they go back to a Kenku form repeatedly? If they could just be anything at any point in time, like we've already seen him in a Kenku form, they stole the voice in the Kenku form. There's no reason to revert to this form repeatedly unless you have to.
Me being super paranoid, it could just be like to throw us off. Like everyone's looking for a Kenku, and it could just be someone that could transform at will, and we're all sitting here looking for Kenkus.
So I'll just want to do you know if where he is, this Kinku is, or where, have you seen him around before? Besides when he took your voice?
Shrugs, shakes his head.
Is it just today that you've lost your voice? Tonight?
He counts on his fingers. 1, 3. He holds up.
3 hours?
2 thumbs up.
How long has the carnival been open?
4.
Have you told Mr. Witch and Mr. Light about it? Can anyone out of game just give us a recap on what we know about this Kenku? I know we saw them run past to the dragonfly thing. They're the ones that whispered in the ear to do the whole dragonfly thing, right? You guys followed him.
Yeah, he shapeshifted into a red-haired woman, I believe, when he ran off.
Did we know?
Witch and Mr. Light did warn everyone too that someone was causing mischief.
Right. How did they? Was that like a piece of paper we found, or an information we got off someone? Like, how do we remember that? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. I can't
I think
remember.
Diana told us, right?
Either Diana or Durlagron may have told you.
Yeah,
Didn't you talk to one
Durlagron
third
might have.
person? Didn't you talk to the tree? Yeah, I think you talked to the tree lady as well.
Tree lady?
Only briefly at the.
Okay, maybe they didn't, because it was. I think it's Durlagron and Diana that gave you the most information. I know that.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember us being warned about the Kanko. I just can't remember how we got warned. I can't even remember that in the conversation of. But anyway, yeah, we do know that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light was warning people. When did they? I'm just gonna say I remember. When did they warn you guys? How many hours ago did they warn you that this Kanku was around?
He thinks to himself. He redoes the throat motion, the hand like pointing away. He points to himself. He does a little walking motion with his hands over. He points back to the staff area. He mimes out. He like steps to the side, mimes out a very good Mr. Light impression. He steps over to the side. He gets like grumpy looking, and then mimics Mr. Witch, and then he mimics himself explaining, and then what? How would he explain that?
He was the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the first one. He was the one who had his voice stolen, and then he went and told Mr. Witch, Mr. Light.
You know, as part of his explanation too, like before the throat motion thing, he like gets down on his knee and holds up a ring, and then he does all of that. That's part of it.
Someone asked you to marry them? You asked
to
someone
marry
else to
someone?
marry. Who?
He mimics like a tail motion, like a
cat?
A mermaid. Oh!
Is the
Where's
mermaid
that
here?
mermaid?
and I guess he points past the big top up towards the big lake to the north.
Oh, Silver Song Lake. Okay.
I'm gonna ask him. Do you think Mr. Witch or Mr. Light knew about this Kanku before you told them? Like, did they seem like they already are aware of this, or do you think they were surprised by you encountering this thing?
Yeah, his eyes go upwards, like in the sense of he's thinking. Rubs his chin and kind of nods, like, yeah, maybe that makes sense. Like he's giving you a shrug, like I don't know, but also nodding his head, like yes.
Did they seem to kind of dismiss you, like they didn't really care about you losing your voice? Or were they like thoroughly like, okay, where are they? What are they doing? Like, do you think they cared about you, or the second one? Okay. Sorry, I had to turn your camera back on. It's really laggy for me though because my internet.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to do the mime stuff without directly telling you the stuff he's saying.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I guess he does a bunch of like talking noises and like as if they went out and talked to everybody about it.
Okay, so I mean, they seem pretty powerful. Like, where are they now? They're just back in their staff area.
He looks at like a magical sundial thing on his wrist, and his eyes widen. He looks over at the big top, which I guess it's 8 o'clock now, and people are like lining up, going inside. You actually see Mr. Light walk in with Burley by his side through the front doors, but no sign of Mr. Witch.
Yeah, we'll try and might come back and even talk to you, but we'll try and help with your voice as well. Do you guys want to go to this big top and see if we can talk to? Would you say it was Mr. Witch that walked in? Yeah.
No, Mr. Light.
Do you want?
One of them.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. I thought it was Mr. Light that was missing. Yeah. Do you want to see if we can go see what's happening in there and maybe see if we can talk to them or something, or do we leave that for later?
What do you guys think?
It said we're not getting distracted, but we are getting distracted.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we did have to sort of talk to either of them eventually. So, Littlefoot, is that his name? Candlefoot.
Candlefoot.
What did are they putting on a show now? Is that why everyone's at the big tent?
Thumbs up.
Maybe we could even just go and watch the show, and see if there's anything suspicious there, or I don't know. How long does the show last for?
Holds up one finger.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Okay.
Let's go. Kale, do you have any questions for him?
Nope.
Moskrit?
Nope.
All right. Valiant, any additional questions?
Um,
I'm not pushing you away. I'm just checking.
no, it's Did you know? Do you know that the mirrors in the Hall of Illusions are being used to kidnap people and take them to Prismere?
His eyes widen, and he gives you a zipper mouth.
If you told us something that you weren't supposed to, would you start throwing up sap or have mushrooms grow out of your nose or something? Would something bad happen to you if you started telling us something that you weren't supposed to?
He kind of laughs to himself, like acknowledging what you're talking about, but shakes his head no.
So you're not cursed. But your lips are sealed, and you did know that your mirrors were being used to kidnap people. Alright. That's fine. I'm gonna walk away.
I want to punch him in the face. Can I punch him in the face?
You want to punch him in the face?
You guys, should I punch
Finally,
him in
our
the face?
first combat.
For it, can I punch him in the face?
No. I'm like, I could see Muskrat like rearing up a fist, and I'm like, no.
I wanna
Come,
punch
shh.
him.
No, I like. I'm
Sparkling.
gonna start. If no one's objecting, I'm gonna start walking away and walking towards the big tent, the big top. But I can talk to the party if they're following me as we walk.
Okay. Well, what does everybody think? Everybody going to the big top? The 4-8 wants to go there, but you can always split up. You can do whatever you want. Someone's yelling like, face painting down here! You want me to paint your face? Okay, that's all he says. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say to the group, I'm gonna head to the big top. I can always, even if I go by myself, it's perfectly fine. I'm gonna mix in with the crowd. I'm just gonna see what happens in there. Like, this is a big show. I'm gonna see if I can find any more information. I'm gonna enjoy the show as well, since we're gonna go probably try and get our way into Prismere to find all the stuff. So, yeah, I'm gonna go on an information mission. So, you guys are more than welcome to come. Or
The only thing that has me worried is like Big Top is like a once a night event, right? So everything else I think is open more or less throughout the evening. So maybe we should all go there to make sure we don't miss something.
that's what I'm thinking. That's yeah.
So after Big Top, no distractions. We'll do our poetry.
Yeah.
Moskrit and Valiant, you cool with that?
Yep.
And I'm going to talk to Foriat too, and I say, the reason why I didn't want you to punch him, at least yet, was to see if we can sort of convert him later. Like, the questions that I asked was, if they were treating him right, if they cared, and it seemed like they did. So I'm going to think of other stuff that we can sort of get him on our side, and I would have probed.
Said he was already a part of the group of people that didn't trust the Misters. That's what Durlagron said. He said Diana and Candlefoot and Featherine.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
So, I don't know why he's abducting children, so he deserves a punch in the face. But I'll take your word for it, and I'll wait. But just let me know, and that punch is ready whenever, okay?
Okay, you ready that action? We'll be ready.
Okay. I might have 2 punches. Just let me know.
I'm 100% with you. I'm more concerned about the Big Top right now. I think we can always go back. We got heaps of time tonight. What did you say? It was 8 o'clock now, and it goes for an hour, so it'll be 9 o'clock by the time it finishes.
Mm-hmm.
That's if we even stay the whole time. So I'm gonna go to the Big Top. I'm gonna come back and talk to Candlefoot a bit later. See if we can convince him a bit more.
Okay. Well, you guys head towards the Big Top. I mean, the same typical paintings are painted on the side of the Big Top. You've got the Selena Leon twins on there. You've got Burley like bending a bar. You've got like fire breathers or something, just paintings of them. As you enter, you almost see the one of the Selena Leon twins paintings has its own shadow. It stretches out and then sucks under the Big Top canvas.
As in, like, the picture has a shadow. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Which doesn't make sense, but then the
we
shadow
notice
just kind of slips under. Yeah, you kind of notice that walking past.
I say to Kale, do you know what this is?
Huh? What is it? Sorry, my wife was messaging me.
So
Kale
you see this picture over here?
I was joking. Go ahead.
This picture over here, is it the twin that's missing? You said, was it the moon person that's missing, or was it the sun? Can't remember which one you said.
Both of them are missing.
Both of them. Okay. Which picture has the shadow?
The moon one.
You see this, Kale? So it's a picture on a wall on the Big Top that has a shadow behind it that's kind of creeping under the tent. It's really weird.
Can I make a roll for it? Because I don't know anything about that out of game.
Sure. What kind of roll are you thinking? Just to know what it
history is? Or just straight intelligence, whichever. I mean, I'll let you decide.
Just roll a straight intelligence. That makes sense.
Wait. Before you roll, do I see you like sitting there scratching your chin, like sort of thinking?
Probably.
Okay, I'm gonna rest my hand on your shoulder. Give me a second. Because I should be using this more. Oh, where is it? You know what I'm gonna do. I just wanted to know if I had the chance to do it.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Okay. You put your hand on Kale, giving him guidance.
I don't think it did anything that you did.
Yeah. What's guidance? 1d4?
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess it should have been before. That's fine. Yeah, I guess roll a d4.
7.
Plus 3. Oh, yeah, I guess 7. No, unfortunately, that's just a weird mystery to you. You're not sure what that is.
Hey, how come guidance isn't working properly? Because it still says I'm concentrating.
Well, it's because you applied it to him after he rolled it, so it didn't take it away when he rolled it. So I'll just remove that.
Can you just roll again to see if it... Oh, yeah.
Sure.
because it has. I don't think it's worked properly yet.
Well,
Try
roll
roll
intelligence,
on
and then
again,
it
just
should
in case.
ask you about it. Did it?
No, I didn't get a pop up for it. But it's fine. Well, I'll just have. I mean, just from doing a 1d4 roll isn't a big deal.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Okay, so yeah, no, unfortunately, you don't know. Do you guys go inside? What are you guys doing?
Kale.
Yeah.
Oh, not Kale. Sorry, Valian. Didn't a shadow take your grandpa? Or did we saw a shadow outside the Hollow Illusions? I don't remember. It's been so long. Remember there was a slinky shadow outside the Hollow Illusions?
Shadow of a goblin person.
Oh, is that what I was?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Wait.
I gotta step on it.
Well, it was there temporarily, and then it like slurped up under the canvas of the tent.
Oh, so the shadow's missing now.
Right. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't clear enough. Yeah, it moved.
Oh.
You saw it out of the
Oh.
corner of your eye, casting a shadow off of a painting, and then just kind of moved underneath the canvas into the big top.
It was a
And-
shadow that took my grandfather. Sorry, I misunderstood. So I am gonna go chase after it.
Yeah, can we see like which side of the tent it went under?
I mean, you probably walked past it like here, so over more to the left, the western side of the tent.
I dive
so I-
underneath.
You dive underneath. Okay.
Yep.
What about
I'm
everybody
up.
else?
Full chase.
Well,
I'm gonna walk through the front door and then turn my head to the left.
What were you saying, Moskrit?
I'm following Valian.
Okay, you dive under the canvas as well. What about you, Kale?
I'll stay with overall. I'll kind of just, just look around the corner of the door. I won't dive under though.
I am
Okay.
also taking out a dagger at the earliest convenient point.
I'm not sure if you want to see the map, but it says I don't have vision.
Yeah,
map.
hang on. I put us on the wrong map. It may still say
Okay,
that.
okay.
I need to put your tokens down. All right, so Foriat and Kale are here. Moskrit and Valiant
Gonna
are
pop outside
technically
again.
here. And so I guess Moskrit and Valiant, you kind of duck underneath here. You're underneath the bleachers, so it's all super dark. It's hard to see. You don't spot it directly, but it's just you're almost totally in shadows at the moment. Kale and Euphoria, you're just in the main area. There's a big tightrope walking thing, a cannon on the far end. People are lined up along the bleachers ready to get things started. Mr. Light is walking out into the center of the room.
I don't know if it makes a difference in terms of spotting this thing, but I do have dark vision.
Okay. Well, it does make it better. Give me just a perception, I guess. Or if you want an investigation, that'll work too.
Oh,
While that's going on, I'll look up as we walk in. Hey, I'll go to the right side. If I see something, I'll do a single firework in here,
Okay.
and I'll start wandering to the right, looking around.
Okay.
okay. Did you want a perception or investigation? Sorry.
I just do a perception. That's fine.
Ugh,
Ooh.
the
No, it
sadness
seems
continues.
too dark. What about you, Moskrit? You're under there with Valian.
I don't remember if I have dark vision. I was just trying to look it up.
You do not.
So I'm just whispering. Valian, I can't see anything. Do you see shadows in the shadows?
Ooh, I'm gonna cast light.
Is it actually dark in the canopy though, or is there light? Just curious.
What? No, there's for Euphoria and Kale, there's light everywhere. There's it's lit in the center of the whole tent. But they're underneath the bleachers, so they're
Oh,
casting
gotcha.
shadows. Okay, so you cast light. That's great. Okay. Hang on. So you cast light. It's like a torch. It's torch-like, right? It's 40 and 20.
It's 20. It's just
An
a
additional
20-foot
20.
sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Oops.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think it's
20 and an additional 20.
yeah.
Dim.
I think it's 2020. 20 bright, 20 dim.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, if that's the case, then you know what? Sure. Yeah, you see.
I'm casting it on my dagger.
Ooh, that's awesome. The blade lights up, is now glowing in your hand. A dangerous flashlight. Okay, well that lights up, and then I wasn't expecting you to be under the bleachers, but yeah, at the corner, at the edge of the bleachers, heading out to the left, you actually see this shadow. Your light lights up, and it casts light on it. You see this dark figure. It's not the goblin. It's yeah. It seems to be a tall, lanky female figure with a moon on their face.
I am. I'm going to shout at Moskrit, and I'm going to say, yeah, Moskrit, chase after her, and I am going to throw my dagger
Oh shit.
at
Okay.
this thing.
Okay, great. So you throw your dagger at it. I guess go ahead and do that. Moskrit, what are you doing?
I'm flying after the shadow,
Okay.
full speed. Which is
And I'm assuming we have no idea this is going on because they're under bleachers.
No, yeah, they're totally out of view. You have no idea what's going on. I'll jump back to you guys in a second because you're probably just watching the show. I mean, you're looking around. You're obviously trying to spot something going off in here. All right. Yeah, a 6 unfortunately
can't
does
roll.
not miss. You launched your dagger at them, although that's your offhand one,
Oh, I don't know.
which means it didn't add your modifier. I don't think it would have mattered though.
Yeah, it only adds it to the attack or damage anyway. So,
Oh, right. You're right.
man, I can't roll for shit. Okay.
Shoot. So yeah, you have your one glowing dagger. You launch the other dagger at it. Moskrit, you go flying towards them. I guess I'm gonna roll into an initiative for you three, just for the order of stuff. So go ahead, Moskrit and Valiant, roll an initiative. And while they're doing that, let's touch base with Euphoria and Kale. The roof of this tent reaches towards the night sky, and oh wait, you've heard that before. That's from the outside. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Here we go. Okay, yeah. The lights dim, and a hush falls over the crowd. A second later, a spotlight illuminates a lithe, elven figure sitting on a silver hoop suspended above the center ring by silk ropes. The elf wears a dazzling suit of diamond pane mirrors and a pair of butterfly wings. His scepter is topped with a spinning vane. Welcome, one and all, to this evening's extravaganza. I am Mr. Light. Prepare to be delighted. The first up we have Burley the Bugbear. Give a hand for Burley. He will be performing feats of strength. And the light fades away from him. He still hangs up in the air. Fades down to Burley, who pulls out some bars and starts bending them. And while that's, Euphoria and Kale, do you do anything while that's happening?
So I'll be walking probably the right. I'll look for it. You check out the left side. I'll check out the right side, and if we see anything interesting, we'll signal each other. And I would just start walking among the benches just to see if I see anything of interest until I get to the other side.
Okay, I guess go ahead and move to wherever you're going to. Euphoria, anything from you? You're just going the other direction. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I just came back inside.
No worries.
Yeah, I'll follow.
What happened? Well, shoot, guys, we lost my Discord. It's restarting for some reason.
Oh, he's back.
That's weird. Yeah, my Discord restarted for no reason at all.
Mine did that earlier.
Bizarre. Alright, everything's back in place.
Okay, I'm gonna sit here. Just kind of watch out for.
Your camera is off.
My,
Appears to be, anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true. Hang on. Turn on camera. Boom, there we go. Alright. Oh, I've got too many things turned on. Alright. Okay, so yeah, Burley the Bugbear is just bending metal in front. People are clapping. Maybe. Yeah, they're clapping. They're clapping, they're cheering. Now, okay, back into the battle here. Valiant. Moskrit, roll into initiative. If you're using the combat HUD, it's the little dice thing above your picture. If you're on your character sheet, I think it's just to the right of your AC. To the right of
I
your
just
picture.
rolled a dexterity because it says there's no active combat encounter and currently viewed scene, so I couldn't just do initiative.
Oh,
But I rolled
interesting.
the dexterity, I thought.
We'll
Very
try to
good,
roll it
let me.
again, and I'll grab your dexterity check for it, but just so it gets into the queue. Is it still saying that?
Yeah, there's no active combat encounter in your currently viewed scene.
What?
Oh wait, maybe what if I click on it? Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, hang on. I can do it. What'd you have? 11? No, they had 11, not a 1. Okay. All right, great.
That actually scared me.
The yell, yeah, sorry. That's one of the critical failure sound effects. Great. Okay, so looks like the shadow rolled first. The shadow tries to hide immediately, even with the light. I guess they dive over into the other bleachers, and they try to hide as best as they can.
In my flight, I want to have whispered, or like in Sylvan. That's like the Fey language, right? That's the language I know.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're friends.
You're saying that to the shadow?
Yeah, to the shadow.
Okay.
I don't know if
Is
it's
that
true because Valiant just threw a knife, but
right?
I'm
Well,
okay,
is that a persuasion or a deception check? You think?
it is both
I guess
persuasion
it's-
and lying, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know it's tricky. Well, give me a deception because he did just throw a knife.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, it could be true for you.
Yeah, that's true. A 6. Yeah, unfortunately, you yell it at the shadow's back. I guess you don't know if it's a backside, it's flat. But it keeps heading away from you. It dives across the gap between bleachers and then kind of disappears in the shadows over there. Oh, well, here, let me make it disappear. And then we're on Moskrit. It is your official turn. What are you doing? You can move. You can do
I think actually
attacks.
For some reason, I'm having a hard time zooming out. Where is the shadow on the map?
Are you, hang on, let me double check. Are you on the circus tent map?
Yeah, I'm sitting
okay.
on the top bleachers. But
Okay, cool.
There's
So the
one.
shadow went this way. It went northward. Between
Northward,
the
yeah, I
gap
don't-
between them. You don't see it now because it's technically, it hid. So like its token's not there.
I mean, I can't see anything without.
But you
Valiant.
could grab my dagger. Presumably, it flew past this person.
Oh.
Oh, you threw your light dagger?
I forgot.
Yes,
Yeah,
I threw the one with the light on it.
Oh, interesting.
I was trying to hit the shadow with light, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's even better. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give them disadvantage on... You know what? No, they just can't hide. You threw that dagger over there, and now it's glowing, lighting up the spot between there. So it's actually here, and it's running... It went from here to we'll say to about here. All right, so you do see it. You do see it looming northward under the north bleachers.
Oh, then I go right at it, and I can't. Again, I can't actually see where you indicated. Is that within?
Should be
within
visible
30
now.
feet? Yeah, I saw that now. 30 feet here. Let's see.
It's
Oh,
50
okay.
feet away, although you had movement.
Okay. Yeah. Dash
And there's
up to it,
technically
I guess.
light. I guess let's just say that the light is there at the edge of the north bleachers.
I'm gonna swoop up the knife as I run past it.
Ooh, okay.
And I mean, I'm gonna use a dash action to get there, so I'm not gonna be able to do anything except shout, "Please wait!"
Okay.
That's all I think I can do. And I forget how to move my piece.
You may be on a measuring tool.
Yep, probably.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, why won't this move?
Maybe not.
Well, I mean, I guess you should be able to click the top left little person icon and then the little select tokens directly to the right of it. But maybe it's acting up.
Oh, I'm on an iPad
Can
right
you-
now, so I'm wondering if my mouse is currently.
Can you move it with
using
up
fingers.
the up your arrows?
Oh, good point. Maybe.
Oh
try
yeah,
that.
that'll work.
No.
No?
Because
Oh,
no door
weird.
was found within. Movement
What?
is set to combat turn. Movement is set to combat turn.
Okay. Well, apologies
no door
about
was found
that.
within
That's
your reach or is locked.
interesting.
That
Hang
is
on,
true.
let's try to move that token.
Okay, let me try. Click. Right. No door was found within Moskrit of Arfron's reach or is locked.
That's fine.
And I do arrows, but maybe those arrows are doing something funky. I can look at my accessibility settings. I'll try and get there if you want.
Well, I guess
to the
put.
next.
Can you click and hold on the spot that you want to move to, and I'll just move you there? We'll have to figure
I mean,
out
I'm
what's
gonna
going on
try
here.
and be like right on top of the shadow if I can catch up. That was my
Okay,
goal,
yeah.
and
If you're
I'm
dashing,
there.
you can
Yeah.
definitely get there. Okay, great.
And
You
can
know
I
what?
like get on the other side of it, like on the far side of it, to try and get between? Like,
45.
no,
Yeah, I
like,
guess
on
you
the
could.
other side, so
Yeah, you can
around
kind of
there.
dodge around it.
Try and
Hell yeah.
pass
So
it
you
like
run
a-
up, and
like
it
a
kind of
wobbling
stops.
Yeah.
It's kind of running, but it stops at you. It's almost like it's your shadow, and it's looking up at you from the ground, planning to turn around. But what do you do?
I mean, I dash, so all I can say is, please wait, hold on.
You have bonus anything? Oh, I guess not.
I don't
guess-
want to
I
raise
guess you-
it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay, well then you just go there and you just kind of stay put. It's kind of lit up. You're holding this glowing dagger. Valiant, what do you do?
Just real quick, can I see any of this happen? Because as I came into the tent, I was looking to the left where they came in and kind of looking for them as I was going into the bleachers. I didn't want to
Yeah.
interrupt anyone else's turn.
No, for sure. Yeah. I was gonna give you both a chance. Let's just do that now. Yeah. Kale and Euphoria, give me a perception checks. Oh, Kale definitely sees it. No, unfortunately, Euphoria, and I think with your position there, it's going to be harder for you as well. But Kale, from across the tent, you can see at least Moskrit run out from underneath the bleachers across this gap, and then underneath the other bleachers to the north.
Seeing that's going on, I'm going to try to like jump under this dash and start dashing around. Do I need to put myself in initiative then? Since I know something's going on.
Yes, go ahead. Are you doing anything towards Euphoria?
I'd probably try to get to them. I think the faster we get to them would be run up and around. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Initiative.
I'd just be slowly going through the crowd, not to draw attention, but still like looking for them. But obviously not finding anything. But
well, Aphoria, you roll into initiative as well, and we'll just say that this round you don't know what's going on, but you'll at least see Kale running around by the next round, and you can join in then.
Oh no, it's cool. I'm completely happy with real life scenarios. I wouldn't even see Kale because I'd still be looking in this direction anyway to
There we go.
All right. So, Valian, you see Moskrit run north, get on the other side of this shadows, holding your glowing dagger. What do you do?
I am going to let's see. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
how do you do initiative?
5, 6.
Okay.
It's to the right of the shield icon.
On your character sheet.
Is there a lot of noise and stuff going on right now?
Not a lot. I mean, there's music, there's cheering, there's applause and whatnot. A lot of it right now is just like metal bending noises, so it's not crazy loud.
Is Mr. Light in the center?
He's hanging from a silver hoop towards the ceiling.
I would like to attempt to get his attention.
Okay.
And the way I am thinking about doing that... Well, okay, so let me ask, does my character think that their voice alone would be enough to get this person's attention? To get Mr. Light's attention?
Possibly. I mean, there's a lot of people yelling and shouting. Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to get above a 15 to get his attention on whatever we decide.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a dagger at him instead. Because my hope is that will get his attention.
Oh, that'll get his attention.
I want to try and hit him with the butt end of it, so that it doesn't hurt as much.
Okay. I'll say... I mean, do your attack. Remember to target him. But, not that it totally matters. It's just easier on my end when you do. And then, in addition, roll like just a straight dexterity, or even like a sleight of hand or something.
Perfect.
Get above a 10, and it works. Get below a 10, and it stabs him. It's a 50-50 shot.
Okay. Well, let's see if I even get close. Because I haven't rolled for shit all day. Oh, that's a 10 to hit. Quote unquote. That's a 10 to hit. I'll roll my sleight of hand.
Okay.
God, I cannot. That's the highest I've rolled all day. A 5. Sleight of hand. Here we go. Hey!
Oh, that's a pretty good sleight of hand, though. So you launch it towards him. It misses him. It goes flying past him, though. You know what? I think you do get his attention. He notices this blade flying past him from up there. He's kind of in the dark, and he looks over at you, like glaring down, hands over his eyes, trying to see what the hell is going on. And he shrugs like, what? He's trying not to interrupt Burley's thing or bring attention to himself.
I'm just gonna scream at him. There's a moon down here trying to kill people.
There's.
And then I don't have any more movement, but I would take off running.
Oh, we've got a jokester, a moon, of course. The moon is falling. Yeah, okay, Chicken Little. He says that trying to like calm the crowd down. And I guess he starts climbing up the rope to like some rafters area. to try to leave and get down towards you guys.
I know this is a lot of movements here. Can I pull out my rapier to accentuate my point?
Okay,
I had my dagger in my hand.
What is your point? That you're dangerous?
My point is that there's someone down here trying to kill people.
Oh, okay, that there's danger afoot. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that can be a free action. You had your daggers. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. I just pulled out my rapier. That's all.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
Great. Okay, so Foriat, you're still moving around. You don't necessarily know that there's anything crazy going on. It's the Shadow's turn. Moskrit has gotten in front of it. And now it is...
Sorry.
What were you going to say?
Can I move a couple of spaces? Because I'd just be shuffling through the crowd really slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, is it telling you?
Like really slow, not to draw it.
Here, you should be able to move now.
It's because it's...
I
don't know, I'd be like, probably... I wouldn't go too far. I'm still like looking, because I have no idea where anyone is, but I'm just not drawing attention myself, shuffling.
Mm-hmm.
That's my turn.
Okay. Okay, so this Shadow, face to face with Moskrit. Moskrit's teeth gleaming from the light off of the blade. Okay. Let me see here. That doesn't work. Okay, well, I guess it's got this one thing. It reaches out from the ground to grab at your ankles. And it reaches up, and you just kind of dance out of the way. You jump, it misses your feet. It doesn't get a hold of you. And then I guess it tries to book it. It tries to book it, maybe it starts climbing out from underneath the bleachers, like out over here. It's like lipping up over the top bleacher between some people. Now, you can have an opportunity attack, Moskrit, since it left your melee range, if you would like.
Is it possible to do, like, opportunity grapples? Can I, like, grab at its ankle?
Sure. So I guess
Sure.
go ahead and do an athletics for that. Beat a 10. Oh, you do. Great. Okay, so it reaches for you. You jump out of the way. It starts climbing out of here, and you reach up. Or do you want to describe it? You reach up and grab it.
No.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if there's it's a shadow. I'm not sure how tangible it is. So I'm actually a little bit surprised when my fingers wrap around it. Eyes a little panicked and looking for Valiant. Valiant!
Yeah, it's kind of translucent to an extent. Think like Peter Pan. I think he could interact with his shadow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever. You get a hold of it. It's trying to run away, but you've got it grappled there. It can't move. It looks back at you and just kind of scowls. Kale Wing, you had seen Moskrit run under the thing. What are you doing?
So can I see it currently from where I am? Like, I know she just pulled it. Yeah, can I see it like in between the bleachers or no?
Give me a perception. Because your focus is over there, but it just slightly tried to crawl out from under the bleachers when Moskrit grabbed its legs. No, unfortunately you don't know about the shadow.
I'm just gonna run 50 feet. That'll get me about there.
Okay. Oh, is it stopping you? Oh no, you're good.
And
all right.
My turn. That's my dash and everything, so.
Okay. And then Moskrit, we're back to you. You've got this thing within your fingers. What are you doing?
Oh, it's my turn again. I want to try and pull it all the way back under the bleachers.
Okay.
And can I quickly shout to... Are we talking to this? What? Somebody help. Valiant. Kale.
Okay. So we'll just say you pull it back further. Let's move this person out of the way.
Yeah.
You pull it back.
I just secure it.
It's
until
grabbing.
Get to me.
What was that?
I just want to secure it until the others get to me.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So yeah, you're holding on tight. Do you ready any actions?
Um,
You don't have to. I'm just trying to think of.
yeah, I was actually just thinking. Thank you for asking. I mean, if I'm fully grappling this person, or the shadow, I don't think I would actually be readying
Okay, for sure.
an attack.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm ready to re-grab them.
Okay.
I'm not trying to actually hurt them or hurt it.
Oh, okay.
And-
Well, that works. Yeah, you just
Can
ready.
you
If they
ready-
get free, you try to grab it again. Is that what are you asking?
Yeah.
Before you?
Can you ready a dash action? Is that
You can ready
I don't know.
movement or an action. I don't
Well,
think
that's
you
pretty
can
cool.
ready movement and dash.
Yep, gotcha.
Okay, so Valiant, we're on you. You can see Moskrit holding onto this thing. Mr. Light is... Oh, I guess I should roll him into the initiative, technically, too. Mr. Light is headed this way, along the rafters.
Okay, I am going to run up to this thing. Nope. Huh. No door was... That's weird.
Yeah, I don't like
I have the no
that
door
feature.
thing now.
I was getting
That's
that
weird.
too.
Well, I think it's like when you hit forward twice really quick.
Oh, no, I figured it out. What it is I had myself selected as a target rather than you select tokens. When I click select tokens, then it lets me do it.
Huh.
Let me see. Let me just double check that real quick. Nope. Okay. Nope, that was not it. Never mind. I don't know what changed. All right, so I'm going to walk up to it or run up to it, and I am going to attempt to grab a piece of clothing or something. Is there clothing or anything like that it's wearing that I can grab?
I mean, it's technically wearing a dress. You know, I'm not sure how shadows work like that, but sure. I mean, I guess it's all probably one, like, almost flat piece. But you can...
Okay,
yeah,
so this is an actual shadow, not a thing that looks like a shadow. Well, the reason I asked is because I wanted to touch something it was wearing and cast light on it.
Oh.
But if this is a real shadow, I don't want to kill this thing yet. And I'm worried if I cast light on it, it just explodes. So I am going to cast light on my dagger. I threw my other dagger. I'm going to cast light on my rapier. And I'm just going to hold my rapier up to it. Not going to attack, just going to hold it up to it.
Okay.
And just say, where is my grandfather?
Valiant, just for like visualization stuff, isn't Moskrit holding onto the other dagger with light? Like, wouldn't their light be right next to the shadow anyway? Like, I'm not sure if that's going to change what you do.
True. Yeah, that's
Is that-
true. I want as many light sources on this thing as I can.
Yeah,
That
that's cool. I just wanted to double
Yeah.
check that you
No,
didn't.
you're
want it.
right. I forgot that Moskrit had the light anyway. But yeah, I think that's
So
what I
it's-
would do anyway.
It's like lit from all sides. It's getting dimmer
Yeah.
and dimmer. But yeah, I guess you look up to it and you're like, "Where's my grandfather?" And I guess it says, I'm just doing my job. What? What do you want from me? I don't have him."
What is your job? Why are you skulking around under here?
I'm just looking for payment.
Okay, well, I think that's the end of my turn, because...
I squeeze its neck harder.
Oh no! Payment! I don't look schematic. Told it. Kind of mumbling. Euphoria, what are you doing? I mean, you see Kale rushing around the outside here. He's obviously going towards something. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to visualize because I hate metagaming, at least for myself. But did I notice Mr. Light talking to someone? Like
Well,
when the dagger was thrown? Like,
yeah, at the very least, give me a perception. You probably heard
because I know.
Valian yell at the very least because you recognize his voice. Oh, okay. Yeah, you most definitely do. You heard his voice. You saw Mr. Light interacting because he kind of yelled out to the crowd about it, and then so you see Mr. Light climbing up the rope and heading down the rafters towards the north end of the tent.
Yep. Did I see anyone run through? Like, do I know that they're going underneath that bleacher? Because I just want to know exactly.
You don't
Because
know
I was
that
shuffling
for
around
sure.
back here. So,
Yeah,
yep.
you don't know. You didn't see them go under the bleachers, but you did hear his voice from that area.
Okay, I'm gonna. How much movement do I have? So that's my 30 feet there.
Okay.
Can I see far enough underneath those bleachers that I can see a light source or anything that would indicate that they're under there? Like, I don't know what angles or whatever, but
Yeah, you probably see like Valian's feet being cut off by the top of the bleachers, but you do see a bunch of light just emanating down there.
well, I'm gonna deduce that they're under there, so I'm just gonna jump down and get on with them.
Okay.
And then that's my turn.
Okay, so you just run up right behind Valian. And you use an action to dash. No bonus actions.
Maybe I have a spell that's got a bow. Let me. How do I know if it's a bonus action to cast it? Oh, usage one action. No, I got nothing.
And in the
I
actions
can.
list, it divides it. Sorry, go ahead.
I wouldn't even be talking because they're interrogating this thing. I just caught up, so I'm happy with my turn.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's the Shadow's turn again. Moskrit is holding on to it tight. It's just... Look, I'm just... Hey! Scamella, sir! I said... They're trying it again. They reach... I guess they try to grab Moskrit by the neck as well, just trying to imitate what they're doing to it, and just goes to try it again. Again, you just dodge out of the way. It can't get a hold of you. It can't do its shit. It's pissed. Okay, look just what? They're just kicking they're almost not wanting to talk. They're just kind of trying to kick away, but they're not able to. Kale.
All right. I'm going to keep on dashing.
So you dash there. You're towards the performance side of the place. You're like,
so what is this? Like, is there a way I can dip in here?
Yeah, there's a door. I mean, there's an opening there in the middle and over to the right as well. You'd probably give me a stealth though to sneak past the workers. And 11. I'll give them a C. Let's just double check. Okay, 11 is their passive perception, so that passes. You end up sneaking. Oh, wait.
It's okay, we hear you.
You're back, but you did disappear for a second.
I hate this. I hate that that's happening. All right, we're back. Okay, yeah. What did you hear?
I rolled 11. I heard you say something, but I couldn't really understand it.
You rolled an 11. Their passive perception is 11, and so you do pass. You sneak past the witchlight hands that are standing nearby. Out of view, you're able to slip. I'll move you in case the walls are yelling at you. But you're able to slip into this back room.
So, a question. Since I did this sneaky, can I dash still or not? I'll let you decide that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll allow it.
Okay.
I will say that while you're back here, this dressing room is a scene of colorful clutter, tables strewn with makeup kits and glass jewelry, mirrors trimmed with glowing orbs of light, and chests of drawers and wardrobes spilling over with garments. Anyway, you're dashing through this area.
Yeah, I think that's where technically my movement would end, is right about there. So I'll end my turn there.
Okay, sounds good. Mr. Light is making his way down. And actually, I guess, Kale, you see Mr. Light, like, climbing down a ladder from, like, high up in that area. He's climbing down from the rafters. He hasn't noticed you yet. He's just started to climb down. Yep. Yeah, what? You give me a deception? You're trying to pretend like...
I'm not dressed! I'm not modern!
Okay, give me a deception. I know this is probably too much, but... 13. Yeah, you know what? That just... Oh! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I can climb down a different way.
Thank you, Pervy!
And actually, you see him just disappear from that spot. He just vanishes and then appears again. Hang on, let me double check that he has to see it. That he can see. Okay. Then he pops out here, like right outside the front doors. Okay, great. Mr. Light is there. That's his turn. I guess he starts heading this way. Moskrit, we're back around to you. You're still holding on to this thing. It's trying to grab you. It's trying to do something to you. It's trying to get free as best as it can. What do you do?
I don't know that Mr. Light is coming, right? Because I've been under the bleachers the whole time.
Right.
I guess I'm just gonna continue to try and question the shadow in my arms. What kind of payment are you looking for? Are you the one? Did you take Valiant's grandfather?
No. I don't know, you guys. I just started. I just started. I don't know. I'm just told I'm supposed to take stuff from people who don't have a ticket.
What have you taken tonight?
I don't got anything. Everybody's got a ticket tonight.
Where were you hired from?
Skabatha.
Gesundheit. Now where were you hired from?
I just told you, Skabatha Nightshade.
What? Who or where is that?
She lives at the theater at Motherhorn.
Have you stolen from things from people in the past?
Yeah.
Just what's an example of something you've stolen from someone?
You know what? I'll tell you. I stole just last week I stole someone's sense of fashion. And then probably the month before that, I stole somebody's ability to smile.
You stole my ability to not open doors without knocking.
That wasn't me. I would remember you.
Okay. Is there someone else working here who does the exact same job as you?
What? There's probably a bunch of us. Each freaking hag's got a guy.
Who are the other two?
Give me a persuasion. And also ask Moskrit, is there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
More questions, mostly, but I don't know how many questions we could get in
Yeah,
this
it's technically like a 6-second period, so I'll give you a couple questions.
Sorry, I didn't think about it, I guess.
No, it's okay. No, I'm good with it. I just wanted to make sure.
Just to clarify, I'm not metagaming. My assumption is that, or my character's assumption is that Endel Moongrave and who was the other one?
Skabatha Nightshade or something?
Skabatha Nightshade, that's the one we just heard from.
There's another name.
And then Bavlorna Blightstraw are the other people they're talking about.
Oh, she's in Motherhorn as well.
Persuasion check. Here we go. Let's see if I can roll anything above. Yeah, that's the second. That's the highest roll I've had. Other than
Is it?
117.
Oh no. She just shuts up.
Okay. Well, I don't want to kill you now. So, all right.
No.
Let's just. Yep. It's someone else's turn. Sorry. Oh, was I
Okay.
talking on Moskrit's turn?
I mean, you're right after Moskrit,
This
so
is a
yeah.
good
I mean, you
bit.
guys just had this kind of back and forth with it. They're being grappled at the moment. They'll be able to try to break out of the grapple or attack again in a minute. So, if you'd like to do something, or Moskrit, let's check with you. Do you want to do anything after that back and forth?
I mean, I want to ask one more question that I kind of want to knock him out, but I want to. Well, like that's probably too much. I feel like I have to wait till my next turn. So can I ask one more question instead?
Yeah, you could do one or the other. Yeah.
Do you know? Wait. Out of game. I thought Bavlorna Blightstraw was Downfall. That's also in Motherhorn? Did I mishear that?
Bavlorna Blightstraw, yeah, you're probably right. I think they said they were in Downfall. This
They
person,
did. I've written it down.
The Shadow said Skabatha, Nightshade, and Motherhorn.
Yeah. Right. And then Motherhorn is what's connected to Endelyn Moongrave. Okay, so the question I'm going to ask it is, do you know Endelyn Moongrave?
You know what? I think you caught me in a fuck up. I think I mixed up the names there. Endelyn Moongrave is the one at Motherhorn, so that's what she should have said.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
So Skabatha and Nightshade, we shouldn't be knowing that yet.
I guess not.
Okay.
Whoops.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Endelyn Moongrave.
Okay.
So does that change you having a question or not, or?
It just changes my question.
Okay.
What? Do you have anything of value that Endelyn Moongrave would want? If so, give it to me now. Or I'm gonna pop your head off.
And I guess she just kind of grabs her collar and just kind of like, you're looking at it.
I guess you're coming with me.
Oh no! Let go of me! Get off of me, yeah, you little scrap. All right. So that was your question. Then Valian, were you attacking? Were you doing something?
Nope. I just asked those two questions. I'm still holding the rapier up. I am ready if they try to run.
Okay, we're ready to swing if they run. Okay, Euphoria, you've caught up. What are you doing?
I am going to take my, because I've got the 2 tickets on me. I'm going to take out the ticket that has some of the punches in it, so I've still got my fresh one in my inventory.
Okay.
Wait, I don't even have any punches on my ticket, I don't think. But anyway, I'm going to take out a ticket. I'm going to just use, I mean, these guys are questioning them, so I was contemplating help, just using the help action, but I'm going to move closer and surround them. And I'm going to take out a ticket and see if, like, moving it closer towards them makes them freak out or whatever. Because I'm thinking that they have, like, a fear towards these tickets, or the tickets are, like, a warding thing to them because of the divine magic in them. So I'm going to, like, yeah, take it out and press it towards them. Being careful, like, I don't want to kill them, but want to see if it's affecting them in any way.
Sure. Well, you do that, and yeah, I mean, it gets right up to their head, and they're just kind of, she's standing there. What? Sure, you've got a ticket. I don't. You're fine then. I can't steal from you.
No, this ticket's for you, as I like.
For me? Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I've never had. Oh yeah, you know what? Now that I was susceptible to being stolen from this whole. Wait, you're pointing something out. I need to steal from myself. She's so confused right now. She's contemplating stealing from herself, being that she's obligated to. Give me a persuasion.
Okay. Sweet, that was like my second thing. I'm glad you gave me that. Thank you. Hey.
Jesus. Okay, well, this is just kind of silly. Great. Well, she just like slaps herself in. What? She slaps herself in the forehead, and then has to do a wisdom saving throw. And luckily succeeds. So she's nothing happens to her. And she's still super confused about what to do. Her eyes are darting back and forth. She's thinking inside of her head. It's her turn. I guess she tries to get free of your grapple. So roll me another athletics check, Moskrit. Ooh, and beat a 21. Oh, you were so
Annoyingly close.
You were so extremely close. Well, she kicks free. She starts climbing out from under. Although that's giving Valiant and Euphoriate both opportunity attacks, if you would like.
I'm not trying to I think Moskrit still had the ready action for the grapple there as well.
Is that true?
From earlier.
Was that from before your last turn, or was that your last turn?
Turn before the question.
Right, so the ready would have expired then.
Okay, my bad. I'm not really familiar with ready action, so you're all good. I just didn't want to
Oh, sure.
downplay anything.
For sure.
I'm stabbing.
You're stabbing. All right.
Yep,
Rapier
I'm
swing.
piercing. Yep. Oh. I must target someone.
There
What's
it
the
goes.
command to target? Alt.
Alt
There we go.
and click. Yeah.
Hey, I finally hit
my
something and
lord.
did well.
Super stab.
There we
Holy
go.
shit. Yeah, you're gonna fuck this thing up. Okay, great. You slash it across the back. Go ahead and click your damage. What
Before
is the hell?
I do want to do non-lethal damage.
Okay.
I don't want to kill this thing.
Okay.
But my dagger or my rapier is lit up. If that has any effect on this thing. So it's a critical.
lit.
So how do I roll damage now? Is it
should
on
be in the chat. Yeah, it should be in the chat. For
Okay. Critical fast.
Yeah.
Okay. 8 damage.
Okay, hang on. It's saying something. Okay, great. Okay. I guess you hit it in the back of the head with the back end of your rapier. Or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean essentially. You were just trying to not knock it out. Or you're trying to knock it out rather than kill it. Okay,
Yeah.
You hit it. That does not knock it unconscious or anything. Euphoriate, are you doing anything?
Can spells be done as a thing action, or is it just like physical stuff? I don't know how that.
Technically, the rules are it's got to be a melee attack. What are
Okay.
you trying
No,
to do?
I'll play by the rules.
Okay.
Well, since I can't cast a spell, I mean, the only thing I can technically do is try and grapple it or chase it, right? So I'm just gonna try and grapple it.
Or punch
Even
it,
though
I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm a really weak character, but if I can't cast a spell, I'm just gonna try and grab it.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an athletics.
Okay,
Beat a 9. Oh no!
Hey!
Hell yes. Alright. Yeah, I mean you get a hold of it. Do you want to describe it yourself or just leave it at that?
Yeah, I'll describe it myself.
Alright.
Like, being a logical character, knowing my strengths and weaknesses, I know that my arms cannot hold, pretty much anything. So I just put my whole body, just jump on it basically. It's my only chance of stopping something or being able to grapple properly. So I'm just leaping at this thing.
Just plopping down on top of it as it tries to crawl out. Alright,
Yep.
Well then it doesn't get to move. You ended up grabbing it, or well, I guess it got here. That was still within your melee, and that's where you stopped it. Okay. Kale.
Can I drag it back? Oh no, that's just the. Yep.
No,
it's
you
not my
can.
turn.
I think
remember.
you can. It wasn't your turn. Yeah, you'd have to drag
Yeah,
it on
yep.
your turn.
I got confused. Yep. Cool.
All right, I'm under the bleacher now. Can I see them now?
You do see them. They're all lit up. There's a bunch of glowing weapons over there. A Forit is holding onto this shadow figure who's just like clawing at the who's clawing at the bleachers, and the people on either side of it like notice this and kind of move away. They're like, what the heck is going on? Mr. Witch is just like, don't mind that, it's okay, everything's fine.
Wait, Mr. Witch or Mr. Light?
Mr. Light, sorry.
Yep, sorry. My bad.
Doesn't look like anyone's injured, so I'm just going. In case I see this thing start to run, I'm gonna ready an action for to cast Mind Sliver on it if I think it's gonna get out of the grapple.
If it gets out of the grapple, you've readied Mind Sliver. Okay, great. Mr. Light runs over. Shit, what does Mr. Light do? He's got. Mr. Light. Okay, he ducks down. He's like peeking beneath the bleachers. He looks down at you. He vanishes in a puff of black feathers, just poosh, and they fall to the ground. And then he appears like right behind Valian. Another puff of black feathers, and it just happens. What is going on down here? What is it? Oh, you let. Oh. I don't know. You should let go of that.
No, this person right here has admitted to stealing things from people who have lost or who do not have tickets. They said that they were giving those things, they were stealing them for Endolin Moongrave. Do you know who that is?
I've never heard of that. Stealing things? That's not...
Insight.
Yeah,
right.
I don't believe him.
Definitely roll that.
Does anybody else want to roll it?
Yeah, as soon as he was saying that, I'm just like, yeah, he's lying.
Go for it.
I didn't want to interrupt him.
I'll help him with the insight because I'm doing it too, essentially.
Okay, so roll with advantage. You can hold Alt when you roll it. Whoever's rolling it.
Alt insight? Oh, okay, that's cool. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have good stats on that too, my bad.
Oh, and that's even with your
All right.
advantage.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to say. He's acting kind of weird, but that seems almost legit.
It seems like he's telling the truth.
Okay, so you don't know who Endolin Moongrave is. That's fine. This person's stealing things like a sense of fashion. They stole my ability to open doors without knocking first. What was the other thing? What was another thing they stole?
I think I can't tie shoes.
Oh yeah, you
I remember
can't
someone
tie
couldn't
shoes,
tie shoes.
and a Forit can't light fires other than by magic.
No. It was the other way around. It was Moskrit can't light the fires. I can't tie a non-magical knot.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, and they also mentioned that there's other people doing this around here.
Really? Oh, good thing you got them then. Good job, guys. Let's bring it back. I'll take care of this. You little
What are you gonna do with them?
I would show them a thing or two, or even three.
I don't believe you.
What should I do?
You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna do anything to them. You're
I
want to
make a deal.
Who, me?
I want to make a deal.
What kind of deal? You know what?
You're
close enough, Kale. Kale, you can be in this conversation, being that you're just like 20 feet away. If you have anything to say, but
I'm just like, are we good? Are we not good?
what is going on, Mr. Light's here?
I'm just blasting him with, I want to make a deal.
All right, Howie. That's the guy from Make a Deal, right?
It is.
Right.
It is.
Okay.
You assist us on however we get to the Prismia realm, or we tell everyone here and we drag this out of the bleachers right now and ruin your whole reputation, which we have the right to do because we have had things stolen from us. Our friend Kale here knows the king of this realm. It would make it extremely hard, and the king obviously has connections to other realms in this plane. I mean, it's how about you take this, you deal with it in your own way, but you give us the information that we seek. That's the deal.
Okay, so you're gonna intimidate?
Yeah, persuasion. I think it's a fair deal. It's not like I'm telling him give us something without anything. It's keep this quiet.
You're threatening a thing, right?
Yeah, okay. I'll intimidate him. Either way, I thought I was being more persuasive. Like if he obviously wants to keep this whole situation quiet, and we're right here underneath the bleachers, and within a second we could kind of have this publicly known, and we could take this back to the king. But yeah, you're right. It could be intimidation, or it could be persuasion.
I think
so I'll roll whatever you
or
want.
else part it makes it intimidation. So yeah, roll intimidation. Okay. Is anyone helping him?
Yeah.
I mean, if you are,
backing him up.
Okay. Well, how are you helping him? How do you add to the intimidation?
I mean, Euphoria's my best friend. Anytime he's threatening something, I'm standing behind him, real small and angry, and just sort of waving my stick rock threateningly.
Okay. Great. All right. So yeah, roll with advantage then. All right, that's pretty freaking good. Okay. All right, listen here. Okay. All right, look. We don't want to bring down the mood for everybody else. We don't want to tip the scales on the Witchlight Monarch. Just to keep this quiet. Everyone, it's okay. Just bring it back. Come here, you. We'll go back to the staff area and we'll talk this out, okay? Your group look familiar. What? It's fine. Let's talk. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm going to ask one more question before we leave, and I'm just going to turn... I still have my rapier up to the shadow. I'm just going to ask, if I kill you, what happens? Does the person who hired you, do they get someone else to do the job? What happens?
I suppose I would die. Of course, yeah. Endelyn can create endless number of us through. She makes deals every day with all of her actors and everything. I was replacement for stage fright.
Who is stage fright?
Little. He's he's in charge of the backstage. He's kind of like the stage manager.
Is he still the stage manager now?
Yes. Well, he is.
So why did you replace him?
Well, I replaced his shadow. I misspoke. It was his shadow that I replaced.
So does that mean he doesn't have a shadow?
That's correct. Snipped off. Snip, snip.
Who else doesn't have a shadow here?
Well, my owner.
We need to talk to stage fright. Okay, that's all. Thanks.
Okay. Please don't hurt me. Like I said, I'm just doing my job.
Do you have a name? And send Endelyn your regards.
Well, they just call me Gleam's Shadow.
Okay. Gleam Shadow. Keep your nose clean.
Oh. Okay. What is this? Are we coming? Are you going to the staff area?
We're following Mr. Light.
All right. So we'll go back here.
At least that's my idea. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, does anyone else want to do anything before you guys follow back to the staff area?
I still want to see that poetry, but it seems like a bad time to just walk away.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad time to abandon this ship, yeah.
After all of this, because we keep getting distracted.
I meant to take a break earlier. Do you want to take a quick break? and then come back maybe
Sure.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Finish up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh. Lost frame.
What time is it for you guys over there?
9:15.
Oh, not
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, hang on. Oh, it's you messaging. Oh. I think you're good.
Oh, sweet. I watched the first game of your other Witchlight campaign the other day on Twitch.
Oh, yeah?
I'm trying to make sure that I'm like really far behind because I don't want to spoil anything for this one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just, I mean, if you're going to do that, just be careful to stop if it gets to a point. Because, like, technically it's sandboxy. And I think they've run into some stuff that you didn't. And I think they made it into Prismere quicker than I think you guys will, so.
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode. They ended at the carnival, the first day, sort of.
Well, sorry, you were going to say something about it? Do you like it?
No, I do like it. I'm trying to, like, I'm very, very interested, but obviously I want to watch more, but in the same sense, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what's the point of playing D&D if you're just going to, know everything about it?
Yeah. Well, I think you guys are, I mean, no offense to them. No offense to you guys. I think you guys are a better group. You guys role play more, whereas they just kind of, I don't know. It's whatever. They're not like veteran D&D players.
Different styles, I think. We're
Yeah.
we're like a lot more inquisitive, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes too inquisitive. We poke at everything.
Yeah. Well, it keeps me on my feet. But
I'm
yeah,
glad
they're
to
a
hear
little
that
bit more
they're not
immature too.
wrong.
What do you say?
Now you can
Christopher?
say you've DM'd a guy who made his chest hair purple or blue and pink. So.
Yeah. Oh, I love goofy stuff for sure. But like, not to make it offend. Like the other day, what'd they do? They like had someone pull out a dildo or something, and I was like, guys, what is going on here? Anyway. Okay. Are we all back? No, we're still waiting on line. Okay, so we're in the staff area now. Let's go to the staff area theme.
I do worry sometimes, though. Like, are we going too slow with the amount of questions and stuff we're discovering, or is it still the okay speed for the campaign?
I don't know if there's a right or wrong to that. I think everybody goes however fast they go. I've seen other streams that people are at the carnival for like 3 or 4 sessions, and I've seen some where they just like immediately find someone who gives them the code and immediately jump through. That said, if you were to do that, you miss out on a number of things that are at the carnival, but yeah, I think it's just open for whatever. So there's not a right or wrong.
Okay. Just, yeah, because this is what our third session this time. So
Yeah.
just let us know if we are trailing behind a bit, because we're trying to poke at everything.
No, I mean, you guys are allowed to poke at whatever you want for as long as you want.
Awesome.
Although you did poke at that Zoltar machine for a while.
Hey, you give us an option to play with wishes and stuff. Of course, we're going to sit there and poke at it.
Well, as soon as I threw that out there, I was like, "What have I done?"
That's how it goes.
I think I pitched it to you in the chat originally, where it was like, "Look, you guys want to be different ages? You guys don't want to be kids? Here, I'll throw this in here. It's an option." But then no one chose to do that with it. And what you did do was great. So now you've got multicolored chest hair. It's awesome. We got everybody back?
Yeah, I might have to go again for a second, but yeah, sorry, one of my dogs apparently had some accidents in the house.
Oh no.
So,
what are their names?
yeah, apparently 2.5 hours is too long. It's Ollie and Margot.
Aww.
So Ollie's a little old guy, so he doesn't last as long or can't hold it as long.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm here, ready to rock.
Chris, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. I guess let's pick back up. So Mr. Light walks you guys. You're all whoever's holding on to the, I guess it was a Foriat, is holding on and kind of escorting this shadow figure with you back to the staff area. Mr. Light comes to the side of the thicket and kind of snaps his fingers, and it opens up magically like it had for Valiant all those years ago. You guys make it back. There's that clown is still sitting there smoking his bubble pipe. Mr. Witch comes out of his cart and is just like, what is this all about? We're not supposed to and then Mr. Light turns to him and just like, shh. All right now, Mrs. Shadow. You cannot be stealing from people. And okay. Yeah, just tells it you can't be stealing from people. What are you talking about? What do you mean I can't do that? No, this is our carnival. You cannot be stirring shit up. Now you're gonna have to go. You go back to where you came from. What do you have? What do you group? What did this thing do?
Where are you from?
Who, me?
No, you're talking to Shadow, correct?
Yes.
So you know where he comes from. Where'd he come from?
Wait, you're asking Mr. Light where the shadow came from?
Mm-hmm.
Who says I know where this came from?
You sound like you were confident that you've encountered before. You said go back to where you came from. So it sounds like, to me anyway, it sounds like you know where it came from. I mean, I could roll insight it if you think that's okay.
No, yeah, go ahead. Seven. No, yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely something. He seems somewhat familiar, but you don't know about what. I mean, Mr. Light is just like, why would I know where this thing came from? It's a troublemaker. Do you know that Kenku? You know that Kenku?
We ran into the Kenku. He put me to sleep.
Oh, kettle stick. Oh, dear. Someone needs to catch that. Mr. Witch, someone needs to catch that thing before the mood drops all the way down. Luckily, you folks have been such a shining light to our carnival. It's the mood has been brighter ever since you arrived. I think that you've helped combat the nonsensory that blasted Kenku is doing around here.
Can I ask? It's something I wanted to mention before we sort of left. I just didn't want to interrupt anything.
Mm-hmm.
As we were leaving, when you said Mr. Witch popped in and it was a bunch of black feathers and he made like a squawking noise, I wanted to look and see whether the feathers, like I wanted to specifically know whether the feathers were left on the ground or whether it was magical and they disappeared. Like, I was very suspicious as soon as you said black feathers. That, I wanted to know because, black feathers at the Kenku.
Oh. They disappeared. They didn't stick around like the Kenku.
Okay, that was,
and they look like a different kind of black feather. It wasn't awesome. A Kenku feather.
Got it. That was my question. Cool.
And Mr. Witch is like, Ermius, what are we doing here? What is... what are these... What are we doing here? This is obviously... And Mr. Light turns to him again and just turns to him. And this time, Valian, you notice that he's like putting his finger to his lip towards Mr. Light, like telling him, shh, be quiet. No, it's fine. They helped us capture this numbskull here. Apparently, this shadow figure. What's this?
We should put this shadow to death. And I go ahead and take out my rapier again and just go ahead and I'm just going to put it to the shadow's throat.
Whoa!
This is... Oh. Why? It's just a shadow. I mean, he said it himself. He's just the shadow of Mr. Stage Fright. Stage Fright's missing his shadow. His shadow was taken. This is a replacement shadow. We could kill this shadow, no big deal.
Oh,
right?
I worry about the mood of the carnival. You may not understand, but the feelings and emotion reverberate, and killing someone within the carnival grounds will surely affect the mood drastically.
Shadow. It's not someone.
Oh, well, I wonder if there's a different way we can handle them. Mr. Witch, do you have any ideas? And you're putting me on the spot here, Well, look, we can capture it. We could just keep it in one of the carts. What do you guys think? Just lock it up in jail for stealing. I mean,
Well,
killing it?
Yep.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
so I'm still catching up to the scenario because I ran up on this situation late. Did the shadow do anything mischievous, or was it just wandering?
it was
Listen,
looking for people without tickets to steal stuff from.
And it gave specific examples of things it's stolen in the past. And it's very similar to our situation here.
So,
Maybe not
I will say the voice thing is happening again on your end, Richard.
on mine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to log out. Back in.
okay. So I want to look to the shadow. So, if your con takes them, why do y'all take the things? Is there a particular purpose you fulfill with doing that? I'm just asking because maybe there's a good valid reason for taking things.
The shadow looks like conflicted. Their eyes dart between Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, and then back at you. It's just part of the deal.
So you are
Speaking
part
of-
of the carnival, then?
No, I'm not part of the carnival.
Speaking of deals as well, Mr. Light, you made a deal to us just before that. You know, if we kept this quiet and let you deal with it, that you would help us into Prismia. That was the deal that you just agreed to.
And well, I'll say back up a second. As the shadow is saying the word deal, like they were staring at Mr. Light. Mr. Light tried to disguise it, got a nat 1, and was doing like a cutting throat, just a silence, don't say this. And now you say that's the deal. Okay, look, how about we'll take care of this, and I'll let you into Prismia. Does that sound good, Mr. Witch? Yeah, I guess. What, you guys want to go to Prismia? What's in it for you? What's in Prismia for you guys?
We have our
8
own.
years ago. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm going to nudge you there as you start talking and say that's none of your concern. Their concern is the deal that you promised.
I turn and look at Euphoria and I say, if we tell them why, they may be able to help us or give us clues. I get the feeling they don't like this any more than we do.
Did I notice the cutthroat signal that he was giving the shadow?
Everyone noticed it. Yeah, they rolled a 4 on their stealth, so everyone noticed this.
Okay, well, I look back to Valiant and I say, look, obviously there's something going on between... I'm whispering, by the way, like, hopefully they can't hear, but yeah, there includes... they're not going to help us. In fact, they might... I think they've got more of a chance to do negative things and try to stop us than anything, but we've made the deal. We just need the password. I don't think we should give them any other information so they can't, alert people in Prismia that we're coming or anything. Like, I agree that
if they're going to let us in, they could give us a bad location. They could send us anywhere. I think we're better off having them on our side.
What was the deal again? Just remind me.
The deal was to let them handle the shadow, to not take it public and ruin the mood, and for them to get us access to Prismia. It was just an open-ended thing.
Yeah. Okay. Moskrit, do you have anything to add?
No, I'm nervous about the deals, so I'm keeping an eye out. But
okay.
For sure. I'm looking at Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, and I'm saying, Are you under someone's thumb? Is someone forcing you to let this happen?
They look to each other and then back at you and then like away. They're almost avoiding eye contact with you. What gives you that idea? You think we would condone such thievery?
It has to lower the mood of the carnival to have people suddenly lose things that are important to them. It can't be a positive. So if your goal is to keep this place happy, that's not a very good way to go about it.
Well, you give and you take. You gotta take one step back to take 2 steps forward. No, you're telling them too much. Look, you guys made a deal with my partner here. What's it? What, you just want the passcode to the mirrors? You know an awful lot about an awful lot. Look, we can, Mr. Light, should we just get them out of our hair? Or, like, they're asking too many questions. It's gonna come back on us. No, Mr. Witch, their intentions are pure. They just want to stop bad things from happening. Look, I'm so flustered. Look, maybe you're right. Maybe there's something going on. How do you play into this? I don't. We're just looking after the carnival.
Imagine a world where you didn't have to deal with any shadow things or Kenku or people that despised you, where you could just run a carnival, have the joy without the step backwards. Imagine if we could solve all your problems for you.
Well, my friend, utopia does not exist. That sounds
Why
great,
not?
though.
Why does it not exist?
Well, there's a number of steps, rather giant boulders, giant hard places that we're stuck between.
Boulders can be moved. Tools exist for that. And we are the ragtag bunch of people. Oh, absolutely. We have all the tools at our disposal. We are the heroes of this story. We're going to get our stuff back and help the people that we promised to help. Do you want to be a part of that as well? Or do you just want to live in fear for the rest of your time?
We know that Durlagrin has lost her child. We know that Diana has lost her memories or something along those lines. We can help them. We can help you. I know this isn't what you want. This can't be what you want. You seem to want to run a happy place. And there's too much negativity here for that happiness to flourish. Help us and we'll help you.
Either you or Foriat give me persuasion with advantage, because you both are going at it. And making good points.
Do you just want us to get us to roll a persuasion each, like kind of like the dual advantage type of thing?
However you
Like
want
just
to roll.
a
If you both want to just do one, or if one wants to do with advantage, that's cool with me.
You can roll, and my conversation just aided you.
Are you sure? Because I don't want to be the person to fail this, though. It's up-
Okay, we can both roll. That's
We
fine.
have faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon in context it makes sense to both do a roll since we're both going at it.
Okay.
Persuasion, you said?
Yep. That's pretty good on Valiant's end. Not bad on a Foriat. Okay. Okay. And they're looking between you guys to the shadow, back to you guys. Mr. Light turns to Mr. Witch and nods, and Mr. Witch grabs hold of this shadow. The shadow starts like jerking around, trying to get free. Let go of me! And Mr. Witch like drags it back to this barrel and opens the lid and just shoves it inside, closing the lid, and then sits down on top of it. Okay. Look, I think we're on the same side here. You guys can, well, you seem awful eager to go into Prismia. If you want to help, I'm happy to let you. I just, this can't come back on us. We've made a deal. Those who do not have tickets are fair game, but everyone else is safe. Of course, it'd be better if no one got anything stolen from them, and I mean, it didn't build these burdens, these revenge stories where people are coming back trying to get their things back. Of course, that would be better. I mean, how do you? There's not.
Something I don't understand, Mr. Light, is why, if the carnival is essentially living where it goes off of moon, why would you accept a bargain where they're stealing, which is probably going to get people sad in your carnival?
It's not that we just accepted it; we were forced into it. You don't understand. This carnival's our lives. We don't want to go back the way things were.
Well, what about your staff then? Why are they being affected?
That I don't know. They are overreaching the terms of our deal. That I don't know.
So you're saying they've already broken the deal, so you've got nothing to lose at this point. They're already taking extra. They're affecting your staff. How are you going to run this carnival?
They have all. We won't be able to run the carnival if we lose to them, and they have all the cards.
Are these the hags that are pulling the strings?
And he like grits his teeth. I can't confirm. I can't deny it, but I also can't confirm it. But I absolutely cannot deny it.
I nod my head, like in an understanding way.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to imagine a archery competition. And in particular, I'd like you to imagine yourself as the archer. And we are the arrow. And I would like you to fire us at the target. Where do we need to go? Who do we need to hit?
Oh, wow. You've... Saviors have just walked right into our hands, Mr. Witch. Yeah, okay. I mean, we'll see. They might just stir this shit up, but, I don't know how else they're gonna get out of our hair. Don't be so rude. They're offering. They want to help. All right, look, I prefer that you're a cannonball and I'm the cannon, but, same thing. All right. Look, like I said, there's little I can confirm, but yes, it's tied into Prismia. If you can get Zybilna back in charge, I'm sure she can help clear things up, but, there are 3 individuals who just know too much, and they hold it over our heads. I guess.
So,
go ahead.
For us to help you, in your terms of they have all the cards. Is there a way we could gain you a card, and you could help us get our things back that we're searching for?
Well, we're not allowed in Prismia, so I don't know. I mean, I think the helping could just be allow you entrance, and I mean, look, we would have to obtain a card with a high enough suit to trump what they have on us, and I fear telling you, I don't want to give you that card in case you turn out bad. But they
Well,
threatened
I'd
to
be
take
willing
the
to sign a
carnival from
contract if
us.
that helps.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. I mean, sure. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to speak for the rest of my party, but my comrades, I should say. But if you'd help us, give us tools to get in there, get our things back, give us a way of providing you a trump card of sorts. I would agree to give you that trump card, and for favor, it would be you providing a goods for us to go and assist into Prismere, and let's just say a free unlimited ticket for future carnivals.
That's the goods that you would like is a
Well,
season
I'm not whatever
pass?
goods you think we could use in Prismere. I don't know a lot about the Prismere.
I think we have.
I'm not sure if there's like special things we would need to enter or things we should be, anything you could give us to help us, because it would be beneficial to you if we succeeded, right?
Well, yes, of course. Thaco, get those bubbles. Don't blow those bubbles this way. All right. Well, I don't know if we have to tell you our end for you to look. We just need to be able to blackmail those horrible women. If you can get, I mean, I doubt that you can destroy them. I mean, but feel free to try. I guess just don't tell them I had anything to do with it.
I'll pull it over to Moskrit. You don't know what she can do. She's pretty tough.
I smile with my glitter teeth.
Total gangster, yeah. Oh!
Just remember, you don't always, as much as we have strength here, also pointing at Moskrit, you don't always need raw strength to destroy someone. Intellect can also be a big devastator.
Well, they sure outplayed us. Well, look, I'm happy to have you on our team. It looks like you've got the best intentions. All right. Well, look, we'll let you into Prismia. We'll try. I don't know what we can get. Look, I've got like three potions set aside, but I don't know if we can just give them away. Look, the goal is to either get those hags out of Prismia, or to find some sort of shit on them that we can hold over their heads, so that they don't reunite Isolde with us, so that we.
Sorry, which are the hags? I know one of them's Endlin, I can infer. But
What was your
who are the
question?
hags? Who are all three of the hags?
You're asking me, or you're asking Mr. Light?
Either one of you who will answer.
I whisper in Moskrit's ear. I say, tell them to prove our wit. We know that one is Endelin Moongrave, the other is Balvorna Blightshaw, and then ask for the last one. Just to show us that we know stuff.
I know lots of things, Mr. Light.
Oh, really?
Some hags. So I am scary, and also tell me the last hag, please.
Oh, all right. Look, you have to promise you can't say that we were involved at all. Like, at all. They'll strip our joy from
never.
us. The
Get
third...
stitches. I would never.
Well, thank you. All right. The third hag's name is Scabatha Nightshade.
Cute.
Those three are doing some nasty stuff over there, and just there's nothing we can do unless they're taken out of the picture. Now, I tell you what, these potions I have are valuable. You may not need them, but if you feel up to it, I know that you're antsy to get into Prismia, but if you feel up to it, I know that you're already familiar with our little troublemaker. If you track them down, I may be able to give you these potions, but it's totally up to you. No need to do this.
The reason I'm concerned is the night is almost halfway through, right? I'm afraid that we may not have time to get in there, get our stuff, get what we need to do, and come back. That's why we're kind of in a rush because of the night.
That prompts me to ask, how long after midnight do you guys start packing up?
Like almost immediately. But I
So
do
we
tell
need
you, if you're worried about getting into Prismia and back before we close, that point might be moot. We do not know of a way back from Prismia. If we allow you in, it'll be on your own terms to get back here.
Are you saying it's not possible, or you don't know a way?
I just don't know. I only know the secret code to get in, not out.
Can we
Speaking
spend more
of which,
time here before we go? I'd still like to see my friend here perform some poetry.
Oh, of course, you saw the gnome poetry contest. Oh, I would love that as well.
speaking of the secret code, hither, thither, here. What's the rest of it?
What? Oh, how did... What? That's...
I tell you, we're gonna be the ones to save everyone,
how
so
do you
we
know
are a
the
smart
first
bunch.
half and not the last half? Look, I guess that
But if you don't
was
tell
part of the
me,
deal.
I'm gonna go ask the machine to do it in lettering on my bum. So
Oh, that machine. Oh, well, that would be a sight to no, your bum. Okay, no, don't want to see that. All right. It'd be funny, but look, it was part of the deal. You can take it or leave it. You don't need to take care of the Kinku deal. Just may earn you some extra potions, but look, the rest of the phrasing is hither, thither, here or there, wander, yonder, show me where.
Thank you. Oh, there. Wander, yonder. Here or there? Wait. Hither, thither, here or there, wander, yonder. What was the
Show me
rest?
where.
Show me where. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have lots of follow-up questions.
Okay.
We'll get to in a second. But, who is Albina and why is she better than the Hags?
What was the last part of the question? Who is Zybilna and what?
Why is she better than the Hags? You said you'd want this Albina back in charge instead of the Hags. That's like a goal in Motherhorn. But why?
Well, she is the rightful owner to Prismia. She rules the kingdom, and haven't heard from her in a bit. I mean, obviously these hags have done something. She surely would have taken care of them if she could.
We did get told that Ringelrun was an old friend of Zybilna, wasn't he?
No.
No,
Didn't he go to meet Zybilna? Or is it the thing on the back of the thing that said Zybilna Industries?
Yeah, it's brought to you by
Well, there was
Zybilna.
that, but there's in Ringelrun's letter that he received from Kellic said
Was
that
from-
Kellic was there with Zybilna.
Mm.
Kellic. Who was Kellic again?
Kale, do you remember?
Kellic?
Mm-hmm.
It was. Sorry. I remember a few.
Yeah, you go ahead and jog my memory. I'm looking for my notes right now.
Kellic was your mentor's enemy or a rival or something along those lines.
Right. He was the leader of the League of Malevolence, and why Ringelrun went where he went.
Okay, I was confused. I thought Zybilna was Ringelrun's enemy, but it was a letter from Kellic to Ringlrun saying that Kellic was going to meet Zybilna. Was that it?
A letter to Ringlrun from Kellic saying that Kellic was in Prismere with Zybilna at Zybilna's palace.
Oh, okay.
Monster,
Kellic
did you have
was
additional questions?
Uh,
I feel like
not
that was
about
one of.
Zybilna. I have follow-up questions because I super want those potions. One, what are those potions? And then follow-up questions are mostly about information around the Kenku so I can get those potions.
Okay. Okay, well, any other questions from anybody about Zybilna or this topic, and then we'll ask about the Kenku?
Yes.
What be?
Well, where is Zybilna's palace in Prismere?
That's right in the center.
Is there a name for that, or?
The Palace of Heart's Desire.
Okay, so that's the same place. Oh, I wrote that down. Oh, yep. That's where Ringlrun is. Palace. Yeah, so that... Okay. Should we tell... I'm whispering to the group again. Should we tell them about Ringlrun being in the Palace of Heart's Desire, where apparently Zybilna is, that he was frozen? Should we ask about that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask which hag, if not all of them, would be using ice magic or freezing people in stasis?
I don't know if there's one particular hag. Shoot. I mean, it's kind of up in the air. I really don't know what could have happened. I mean, Zybilna is much more powerful than them, but I mean, I guess the three together could have pulled something. I mean, Zybilna. It's really mind-boggling to me how Zybilna was the head. I mean, I don't know what happened to Zybilna, but something obviously happened, and they were able to take control. I'm flabbergasted, I must admit.
So, I'm probably thinking... So, Kale's master here, we were able to scry on him because we have friends in very high places. I'm not going to tell him that it was from the horsies, but, I'm just going to, play it up. That we scryed on him, and he was at the Palace of Heart's Desire, which you just said was Zybilna's, the place that she owned. And Ringlrun was frozen in stasis. So if that's at Zybilna's palace, then I'm assuming, and Zybilna's been missing, I'm assuming that Zybilna is probably also frozen in stasis as well.
Oh no. Oh, that's beyond me, how they would have accomplished that. They'd need massive power. They would have, I don't know, they would have needed Zybilna's own power to pull something like that. That's how that could be, though. Maybe she's frozen. That would explain her absence.
Does Zybilna's power come from a device, just like your scepter sort of thing, or is it natural?
Oh. And no wonder that Kenku is so pissed. That's his patron! Oh, okay. Sorry, what was your question?
Wait, who's the Kenku's patron?
Zybilna.
Zybilna.
She came here last time, wondering about this, and we can't just be telling everyone everything.
I mean, the more information you give us, the more chance we have of bringing Zybilna back and all of this stopping. There's gonna be no way that, if we die or if we don't come back, we're already trying to help ourselves and a bunch of other people that have lost stuff. We're not gonna lead trails back to others, including you. If you're gonna sit there and help us, which in turn helps, everyone else here and yourselves, we're not gonna, if something bad happens to us, we're not gonna offer up information that could hurt you or our other friends. So, as much information as you can give us, I can promise you, it will never come back to you. There's absolutely no downside into giving us. Look, like we've already found out a lot of this stuff from just, a couple of hours worth of work. Like we're gonna do this. We're gonna find this information out anyway. We could just use our time way more efficiently if you just let us know a few things here and there.
Oh no, you're definitely on the same side of this as we are. I was just putting it together. That must be why Kettle Steam is so upset. They had implied that they wanted to know about Zybilna, and at that point we didn't know. But if she's frozen in stasis, like you found of your friend's mentor, Ringle Run, then that explains it. I just wish they wouldn't have stirred up so much shit just to. I guess we weren't forthcoming, but they didn't prove themselves as much as you have. All right, look, we've told you the phrase. What else can we do to aid you on your way?
I nudge at Moscrit.
Oh, potions. What?
Ah,
You said you had
yes.
potions?
We've collected a few potions, that is true. I've got. We may be able to wrangle up a fourth one. There's 4 of you here. I've got. Well, the first one you probably don't need. Unless. I don't mean to speak. But it's a potion of diminution. You don't need to get any smaller than you are. But this other one, maybe. A potion of growth we've got. And I've got a couple potions of advantage.
How about your scepter there? Could that help us at all?
Hang on, let's let Moscrit finish. What were you saying?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just growling at him for calling me small.
Oh, of
You
course.
go.
Oh, what were you saying, Kale?
Would your staff help us at all? Or the pocket watch? Because you seem pretty defensive like that when we were younger.
When you... I knew you! Oh, you're... Mr. Witch, these are the kids we knocked out front! Oh, you've really grown up. All right. No, I can't give you. This is how we run the carnival.
You were the shot.
Oh, for sure. They are powerful. They definitely help you, but unfortunately they can't pass through the portal, and we can't shut down shop without the watch, and I can't keep an eye on all the moods without the witchlight vein.
You said you'd give us the potions if we catch the Kenku?
That can be arranged, yes. If you can catch that
Do you have
dinky.
information that could help us catch the Kenku?
Oof.
We saw it change shape, so it seems kind of tricksy.
Yeah, it just keeps... it's always dodging detection. Obviously it can hide very well, and, it's... I don't know. Shoot, if we knew how to catch it, we probably would have had Burley catch it by now.
Do you know anything it could be attracted to?
Huh.
Reason I say is we could set up a trap.
Or do you know things that it's already stolen today? Have you heard reports that we could maybe connect some dots? We're very smart.
Well, first they stole Candlefoot's voice, and that ruined his whole proposal. Now him and Palasha are all whatever. We'll have to deal with that later. Then he scared the dragonfly, is what I heard, and almost made someone crash. Then what happened? I guess then I just felt a bunch of people. Someone was sad about their nachos, and that's the most I know. Obviously, like I said, the Kenku wants to speak to us about Zybilna, and we had just refused up until this point. I'd hate to say that we could be bait, but it definitely is interested in information about Zybilna. I'm not sure what would draw it out, though. It just wants to start a commotion. I wonder if you try to do something amazing, it might show up to try to ruin it.
What if we just start flying around shouting Zybilna? You think I can get some attention?
What if we started a flash mob?
Ooh.
We'll break out into Thriller. What do you think?
Oh, don't turn to werewolves, you.
Well, that'd be cool.
That
Yeah, we
would
could
be
turn
cool.
everyone into werewolves.
No!
Scary werewolf.
No, I mean, you might be onto something.
Ooh.
Yelling Zybilna? Or, I mean, even a flash
What?
mob, that might be fun. Well, what about you?
Or we win the poetry contest.
If you win the poetry contest, that will surely piss that Kenku off so bad. Oh, I'd love to see you try whether it works or not.
So why is the Kenku? Is it just trying to bring the mood down in this place to get back at you, or is
I haven't sat down and talked with them, but I think that is the case, yes. They've got their feathers in a bunch. I mean, you got to understand, you had to go through a lot before we've been so open with you.
But 8 years ago, the Kenku was here as well, was it not? It was.
Yes.
So why was it here 8 years ago messing around, and it's still messing around now? It can't all be trying to find out Zybilna. Because Zybilna would have been around 8 years ago, wouldn't they?
So just correct. Oh, you may be onto something, but correct me if I'm wrong. Was the Kenku doing shit when you were there as kids?
No.
Okay.
No, we
No, we
saw
didn't see the Kenku as kids. Not that long ago, anyways.
I deduced that the Kenku would have been there because we saw someone shape change.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
And that was the thing that prompted Kale to ask Moskrit if that was her transformation sort of thing. So I just deduced that the Kenku was there.
Gotcha. Okay, well, for clarification, that was just someone... I mean, I think both cases are just a case of disguised self. But that wasn't the Kenku. I will change something, because you've caught a little bit of failed logic on my end. I think they said he was here before. Let's not confirm that they were here 8 years ago. They had just visited maybe a year ago at a different location, and they've been tracking the carnival.
Gotcha.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah, I was kind of scratching my head why the Kenku would have been here before and if he was running amok sort of thing, but it makes sense now.
Well, I see that correlation, the two, yeah, the transforming. I get that. But yeah, no, the Kenku wasn't here then. The Kenku was just here a year or so ago and had kindly asked to meet with us, but, I mean, plausible deniability. We can't tell him everything, you know?
That's fair. Your life is also on the line, so understandable. And the life of
Our
your...
livelihood. Yeah, this carnival has become family to us. I don't want to go back.
Back where?
To the other
Really?
carnival. To our original carnival.
Which?
Wait, your original carnival?
This is our carnival, fair and square, but we had to make a deal. Look, years and years and years ago, we crossed paths with another carnival. Not this one. We were in charge of a dark carnival, a shadow carnival. We're actually from the Shadowfell, and we met Isolde. We got to drinking, and we couldn't figure out who was the funnest. And so, well, we made an agreement to swap and take control of each other's carnivals until we met again. And this carnival has proved so joyous. We've just feared running into her again, and then those damn hags figured out the whole deal and threatened to bring Isolde back and lose the carnival for us.
So do you think Isolde is in cahoots with the hags?
I don't think so. I don't know. It never occurred to me.
Can Isolde be trusted?
I don't know. I haven't seen her for years. I mean, she trusted us enough to swap carnivals completely. So we were on somewhat good terms, but I mean, who knows if she has enjoyed our original carnival as much as we've enjoyed hers.
Can you tell us a bit more about your previous carnival? Like, was that the opposite here, where you're supposed to bring people down, or like, is it a horror thing where you're supposed to scare them and get your, opposite joy that way, or is it another? Is it a dark carnival that also tries to make people happy?
It's darker themed. I think it was more about scariness and the thrill of the carnival more so than the joy and happiness.
Yeah, don't be ashamed. I love horror themed stuff, so that's totally cool. I might visit that carnival one day. But it's basically the opposite of this, is it? It's more based on thrills and squirrels type of thing.
Exactly, the skrills. You've got it.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head there.
Grills.
Thrills and skrills.
I was gonna say screams, but it kind of came out wrong.
No. Perfect.
I will have to go shortly.
Oh yeah, we are
Just so
over
you
on
know.
time. Well,
So
what do we want our cliffhanger to be? What final questions do you have? I mean, it sounds like you are leaning towards going after the Kinku to earn those potions. You now know the code. Did you have more question, Moskrit, or you asked about the potions?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to go to the gnome poetry and then chase down the Kenku.
Hell yeah. What about you, Kale? Anything?
No, I am good.
You're good. Euphoria, any final thoughts?
Nothing I can think of right now. I've probably got more questions, but I don't want to drag it out anymore. Maybe I can ask when we start next session or something.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just start here.
Yeah.
You can ask. You guys can all think of any final questions you might want to ask them before you head off and do some poetry.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a question just for the future.
Okay.
Okay.
Hell yeah, guys. Well, that
Awesome.
was an eventful day at the carnival, or eventful couple hours at the carnival at the very least. Awesome. I don't know. Had a good game. I had a good time.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is very different. No combat is. It's kind of cool. It's like a really cool learning experience for running my own games.
Yeah, it's
So.
different. Yeah, I mean, I'd been doing. I mean, because I come from filmmaking and all that stuff, so I'm all about the conversations that happen. Not to say that combat's not fun too. We had a little bit of combat, and there's not
Yeah.
zero combat, but yeah, it's a little bit different than a lot. At least Icewind Dale was like fighting things all the time. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming when we get Prismia and we've got to take on these hags and probably other minions, we'll have a bunch more combat added to it, or a possibility of that.
could be, and it depends on what choices you make, whether you decide to try to kill the hags or make a deal with them or whatnot. But yeah, I'm open for you guys to fight stuff. There's just options for you to not.
Yeah, I saw. Well, I want to. Well, yeah. Anyway, just reading reviews of this. It was